Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SCS Season 4, Week 7, even though it's technically Week 5 that we're playing, that our game is from. Anyway, my name is Santos. I'm here with Blue Panda, and it's good to be sharing Siege's birthday with you, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, for us it was yesterday, so you guys need to catch up with the times. But yeah, we're heading into day number 2 of the SCS Super Week. Throwback to week number 5. We've got Emergence versus Wichita Wolves. It's our only play day for today, or for only match for today. But what a day it is, Santos. New patch coming in, so these teams, hopefully, they have come in, done their homework. There's some significant changes we need to talk about. Number 1. Hatches on the roof are now reinforced for the majority of maps. It's not going to be the biggest of problems with the maps we have today. We'll touch on that in a little bit. Jaeger isn't nearly as impactful as he was. There's been huge shift-ups in terms of what operators are going to be currently relevant. There's any number of possibilities coming in today.
Honestly, I'm fully expecting to go into today's game knowing that I have no idea what exactly I'm going to be looking at. But you mentioned the rooftop hatches change. Unfortunately, that's not going to be a big issue. Maybe on Coastline if you're trying to open up that bathroom hatch, but otherwise, not really that big of a deal. As you can see on the bottom, we have our map bands. Coastline and Oregon are the maps we're going to be playing here today, and oh man, I think Coastline, I think that fits into what Emergence is going to be trying to do here very well. And with both of these rosters going through a little bit of turnover, a lot of unpredictabilities on the board.
Yeah, with Emergence, it's definitely a case of, does Goria show up? And if he does, can the rest of the team match him? Because at the moment, you know, Goria, he's sitting highest rated player in the tournament so far, 1.47 last I checked. The rest of the team have been sitting sub 1, which is never a good stat you want to be seeing. From what I've heard, Moved is now passed from the main roster. They're going to be looking for someone else to fill that void, so we're probably going to see that debut player coming in today. There's a lot up in the air. Emergence is a team that has proved themselves consistently. I'm a huge fan of these guys. Like I said, I've said a few times now, my first North American broadcast was with these guys. As you see on your screen, we've got them up there. Grayed out is Moved, so that just indicates that he's not playing today. Son of Finn is going to be the IGL for the team. He's got a solid head on his shoulders. I've got to give him that. He makes the right calls at the right time. Luckily, Goria is the one to, you know, push it through, make it happen. But unfortunately, they just haven't been able to match what he is bringing in some of these rounds.
So we had word from Ferme, shout out to Ferme, but we have word that Moved is actually going to be playing today, but he is currently LFT. But yeah, you said it yourself, Goria, the man that's going to be taking heads off his shoulders. Really, you mentioned it yourself, they're going to be riding as far as he goes. If Goria struggles today, if Wichita Wolves can find a way to shut him down, then that's definitely not going to look good for Emergence. But I love these boys as well. Love Goria, love Son of Finn, love pretty much everyone on this roster. But you can see a little bit of the attacking inconsistencies that they have. Obviously, you have Goria, loves to play that Zofia, but you can't really do it alone in Siege. And I think Emergence, unfortunately, is figuring that out as they've gone throughout this season. And they've had some tough losses. We see a lot of 5-7s on the board, as well as that 11-13. Obviously, I think it was Goria breaking the kill record that day. Unfortunately, they just couldn't pull the match fully through. But let's talk a little bit about Wichita Wolves. Obviously, they've been going through a little bit of turnover as well. You know, Iski being added onto the roster, as well as Anarchy, two of the newer members to this roster. But as you can see by the numbers, hasn't really taken them too long to get acquainted here.
Yeah, they played yesterday. They've had back-to-back play days, one on either side of the patch, crazily enough. So these guys have, I imagine, have done a phenomenal amount of work. And to see how they played yesterday in that matchup, it felt like they had been playing in the team for a good long while. It didn't feel like there was any gelling issues. They really stepped up and showed that they came to play. 7-1, 7-5 into 3-0-3. Not the hardest of opponents, if we're being perfectly honest, but the cohesion was there. They definitely played very, very solidly. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing coming into not necessarily the Emergence as a whole, but up against Goria, who is that fragging powerhouse that we know he can be, especially considering map number 1 is going to be Coastline. If there is a map that favors heavy fraggers anymore, I couldn't think of it. So I think this is going to be interesting, especially given Emergence will be starting off in the attack. Goria has that room to build up a head of steam, then head over to the defense and carry it over the finish line. So it's going to be incredibly telling how that scoreline sits going into the half. But you see the stats at the moment. They speak for themselves. The core of Tyrant, Faded, and Devil, they've been consistently in hard work throughout the season. Only 2 losses to their name. And obviously, look at the rest of their performances so far. We're staring at 3-7-1s in total. I think that the most they've been pushed is to an 8-6 win and an 8-6 loss. So these guys have been incredibly consistent on the whole.
Yeah, as a whole, for sure. I want to note that 55% attacking win rate, which obviously is definitely something that you can hold very highly in terms of Wichita Wolves. I like to compare them to kind of like the tier 3 Dark Zero in a sense, because they are absolutely brutal on the attacking side. Even if they lose a man, they always find a way to sort of adjust around it and really just force their way onto the site. And that definitely shows up in the standings. You see Wichita Wolves have moved up a spot, but yeah, Wichita Wolves looking to break into that top 3. They have been a force to reckon with inside of SCS, and Emergence obviously looking to break back into that first half of the standings. And yeah, I think we have an insane matchup today for sure. I'd call it a rivalry game.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got this Emergence roster. Goria, he's a young gun. He's been standout through the season. He's looking to do some real damage today, and the rest of the roster are looking to make a bit of a statement. So it's like the young gun coming against the old veteran, who, realistically should just slap him aside. But there's definitely room. There's that air in the set feeling in the air that there could be an upset today. So I think this one could very much go to a tie. I think if Emergence are coming in today, they're firing on all cylinders, they're able to back up Goria and let him just go absolutely chaotic, they could definitely do some real damage here. But you look at the predictions, unfortunately, the consistency speaks for itself. The majority of people are backing Wichita Wolves today. And, well, look, hey, he who shall not be named hasn't called a tie, so we shouldn't be having any technical issues today. No 4v5s playing out, but you can see that, yeah, it's going to be a hard road for Emergence to pull this one out. There's not a hell of a lot of faith in the moment.
I mean, they have faith in themselves for sure, but yeah, Wichita Wolves have looked, they are one of the strongest tier 3 rosters definitely in existence right now. You can see all the predictions. Smith knows something that we don't know. So him picking Emergence, if he's right 3 out of 3 times throughout the first course of the week, then I think we should just all bow down to Smith in terms of the prediction percentages. But yeah, not a lot of faith towards Wichita Wolves as of today, and for good reason. Wichita Wolves just a mainstay in the top part of the standings, and I mean, I'm with you. I want to see a 1-1. I just don't know if it's going to happen if they can't get Goria going. If Emergence can't get Goria going within map 1.
Yeah, it comes down to largely whether Wichita Wolves have done their homework and have identified him as that real threat. Smith, though, he as well as Pond and Red Pool, they're backing Emergence today. And I mean, look, Smith with his 8 brain, he could pull that one out of the bag. I don't see this one going hard either way. I think this is going to be very contested. Probably going to see at least minimum 1 overtime here today. Potentially that infinite overtime coming into effect. We've seen it with Emergence before. Right. Unfortunately, they couldn't win it out that time. But maybe today they can go dig deep and look to use Goria, that spearhead of the team, and cause a real upset here today. But I mean, look, it's all up in the air until we actually get into the server. Given the maps that are on the cards for today, it's going to be a frag-heavy, chaotic, messy, bloodthirsty battle. So I'm excited to see what happens once we get into it. In terms of what we're going to be seeing in terms of play, operator bans is something that we have touched on time and time again. Operator picks as well. But, I mean, look, the changes coming into the season, frag grenades being taken away from people, Ash now having 3 breaching rounds and no flash grenades. There's a lot, all of a sudden there's just been this, it's like you're playing Yahtzee, the dice have been rolled, you need to figure out where they fall and try and figure out where, how you piece those things together at the moment, because, Ash might fall out of relevance here a little bit, not having those flash grenades, she's not going to be able to burn those ADSs. I mean, realistically, she's still going to be relevant because she's this 3-speed heavy fragging operator with, the R4C, but there are operators that I see coming to the forefront in this patch.
I think Sophia's pick rate is going to go even higher. I know it's sitting at a 93.6, but Sophia just becomes that much more important. I want to see IQ make her way back to the forefront. I was talking with a former United analyst, Drew Spark, about IQ and how she could potentially come back to the forefront. I don't expect Jaeger's pick rate to fall despite his slight nerf, but yeah, you can see by the operator picks. I'm expecting a big shift. This has definitely been a big sort of patch update, and more importantly, when we look at today's macro game, what are the strategy shifts going to be behind what these teams sort of attempt here today? Dokkaebi hasn't been brought once. Wow, that's actually kind of surprising.
Well, I mean, honestly, given the fact that she's getting frag grenades now, I think that might change. Pairing the logic bomb with a frag grenade, that is actually a terrifying prospect. Weapon. Like, yeah, not to mention the DMR and the boss G if you're feeling brave, but you pop the logic bomb, you can hear someone on the floor above you. Frag grenade, easy kill. Like, it makes sense. It's pretty forward thinking. The other operator that I'm looking at is Twitch. Having those breaching charges taken away, being given the flash grenades, we could see her start to rise in prominence as well.
Plus the F2, it's always insane. No matter how much recoil that thing has, as long as the gun goes burr, you could just lay into the enemy as you see so fit. Add on the fact that she brings the flash grenades to the board. Obviously, her utility isn't exactly the strongest just because of how bulky that drone is, the fact that it can't jump either. But we could see Twitch being brought back to the forefront here. But again, take a look at the team statistics. Emergence, you can see how good Goria is. 156 to 85 KD. That's just absolutely insane. I don't know what else to say about it. You can look at his own color. It's like it's in some sort of teal or green, kind of colorblind. So take a look at that. He's absolutely insane. But unfortunately for the rest of the team, it hasn't really resulted in too much of a difference. They're currently 65 to 65 in round differential.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is Goria is still so incredibly young. He's not going to be eligible for competing in Challenger League for the next couple of years, so he's just going to be able to build experience on the back of that. I mean, assuming he doesn't step away from the game, but the guy is just that good. 100%. As soon as this kid hits 18, 100% he is being signed to either Challenge League or potentially Pro League. The skill is there, the mechanical power is there. He puts up numbers consistently. And, I mean, he's definitely gearing up to be one of the powerhouses going into the next few years of Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm excited to see, where that future does reside. We'll see if he, what happens with the game. It's years down the line. The game could come apart tomorrow. But what we do know is we do have a game today. We do have these two teams ready to play. And we're just waiting on, confirmation and everything for the server once we get things underway. Coastline map number 1. You could not have asked for a better map in terms of, as a caster, I love this map. It makes for some of the best plays I have ever seen in Rainbow Six Siege. And with a player like Goria, we are going to get some highlight clips. 100% there is going to be some highlight plays. If there is only, I mean, look, I'm expecting 1, maybe 2 aces today. Just because of, that's how Coastline can play. I'm expecting runouts. I'm expecting spawn peaks. I'm expecting a very, very heavily contested and very, very bloodthirsty map.
I mean, the whole point of today's patch was to take away a little bit from that last second utility burn meta. So the guns are going to be flying all round long throughout pretty much all 3 minutes of it, except for that 10-second kind of like don't shoot at anybody period. But these guns are going to be flying with how tight Coastline can be, how open it can be as well. We're in for a frag fest, and we are now in the lobby, and oh man, I'm so looking forward to this. Do we see a Zofia ban even maybe try to shut down Goria a little bit, take away his best operator? Because you need to play into just trying to shut down Goria as much as possible if you are Wichita Wolves. Yes, you are overall you've been a stronger team, but when Goria's on the board, they still have a chance. So Ace is going to be our first ban, taking away a little bit of that hard breach presence, but I don't think hard breach is that big of a deal here on Coastline. You mainly need to be able to get those hatches and then maybe take out the quad wall for the pool table defense. But IQ was our next ban from Emergence. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, it's an operator that's going to become infinitely more prevalent because you don't have to delay everything. You can actually get into position, figure out that gadgetry nice and early on, and the response is there from the Valkyrie. I think it's purely those two, and 9 times out of 10 just paired together because one sort of plays into the other. Final defender ban. This one is going to be interesting. Do we see a Whammy? No, it's going to be a mirror, as you would expect on a map like this, but I honestly, I'd kind of pegged potentially an Ash ban here on a map like Coastline because of how frag heavy this is, and both teams have very, very capable entries. So yeah, no, not today. Mirror, the final player taken off the board as we head into round number 1 here of day 2 of Super Week. We see some interesting picks already. Hibana's going to be there. It's another operator that we didn't really touch on, and those changes that were made. You can now select just how many X-Kairos you want, 2, 4, or 6. And that is going to be interesting, as well as the Blackbeard now being hovered here by Evil Clouds. They were going for the buck here, and it will be the 6th pick onto that instead. And then you've got Goria. Zofia in hand, ready to frag as he could possibly want. This is going to be a great round.
You got to deal with Devil too. We like to sing his praises a lot as well. Playing that Maestro, obviously the Alda, very prevalent gun in Siege, and dude, I'm so ready for this cast. I really just have nothing else to touch on. I'm just so ready for what we're going to see today. Obviously, these are two of the best teams that we've had in SCS from a legacy standpoint. So, yeah, Emergence versus Wichita Wolves. Let's get into this, honestly. I mean, you mentioned Goria on the Zofia. He not to take anything away from him, right? Because we've been like touching on his fragging potential so much over the course of this, but he also plays Zofia in just a very genius way. He knows how to use that utility to the best of the ability. And then obviously you have the flashes there to be able to get rid of or temporarily disable now the Jaeger ADSs. And then obviously Ben with those frag grenades going to be looking to pick some people off for free onto the site. But into the round we go. No aggression as of yet, but the caution is certainly being brought out for Emergence. They don't want to sort of walk into any spawn peaks from Wichita.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is lose someone key early off the bat, and you can see that they're paying that respect. They see the windows are open. They know that there is potentially going to be some presence downstairs, and there is. It is going to be Tyrant on the Vigil at the moment, looking to contest that long angle into office with the help of both Iski and Anarchy. So there's a lot of off-site presence at the moment. The other thing we didn't touch on is, unfortunately, never mind, Ben he's gone down. Headshot, quick, clean. Tyrant connects there onto the sledge. So those frag grenades, as great as they were to have, are now a non-factor. And Evil, he's left a little bit confused, a little bit scared now on his own downstairs. Goria, he's droning himself in, which is something that we've seen more often than not. He doesn't really rely on the team to actively drone him. He does the work himself, and then his big brain calculates it all, translates it into some big wins. And at the moment, that's definitely going to be an uphill battle for him.
Ooh. Tyrant taking a little bit of fire from, I believe that's the Nomad of Sonafin, the IGL here for Wichita Wolves, but Deviled Eggs actually going to be able to take out Goria. We talked about Devil and Goria being a big point of contention, a big frag sort of battle to watch out for, and Devil certainly gets the upper hand as we dig deeper into the round, and unfortunately it's not looking good for Emergence. They lose another body. That's the IGL off the board as well. Devil going insane, takes out Moved, and it's going to be up to Evil Clouds alone in a 1v5. Currently Emergence looking like they're struggling here. He's just conscious of all of the different angles that Wichita Wolves could play onto him, but it seems that Wichita Wolves have just made their way back onto the site, with the exception of one who could potentially be looking for that frag. Unfortunately, Devil isn't going to be able to find it. Evil will find him through the wall, and unfortunately, it's still a very tough situation. He does have plenty of time to play with, though.
And he's down in main lobby. He's going to push up wide stairs, but Anarchy is ready and waiting to receive at the moment. So he decides a bit better of it. I think at the moment the plan is just waste a bit of time, talk with the team, figure out what went wrong in that round. And realistically, what went wrong is Tyrant. He largely undid what they were trying to set up for. Having taken those frag grenades off the board meant that there was far less pressure from below. Iski goes in for the gunfight against Evil, but can't tag him. Oh my lord! Tyrant through the wall in kitchen, finds the head, takes him down, and that is phenomenal gunplay from Evil so far. He's done some damage. Unfortunately, there's no chance of winning him the round, but hey, my lord, what a shot.
Actually, Wichita's going to win it on kill, or is it on time? I'm not sure. He did get the kill. Anarchy is going to get the kill on the clouds, and yeah, we hey, caster cams, what's up? Just a second. Okay, so yeah, we saw Wichita Wolves with a very dominant round throughout the course of that first round, and it's on a site that you would expect to lose. Obviously, Hookah more defender sided, but yeah, Wichita Wolves looked indomitable throughout that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We didn't see the use of an overabundance of utility. I mean, I don't think I saw the impacts coming out. I don't think I saw any stuns coming out, which, I mean, the changes that have been made, they're kind of important right now. Because no longer are those flashes used to solely burn through that utility dump meta. They can be used to actually white screen your opponents now. So I think looking to see that happen a little bit more would be good. And seeing what just happened, it's Goria. He's going to be playing on the Ash this time, so has changed things up just a little bit. On the whole, though, the attacking roster is largely the same, but on defense, Wichita Wolves, they're heading down to Kitchen. We see they've picked up the AT&T family plan, 3 nitro cells in the back pocket, so they're going to be ringing as much as they possibly can here. And if they can translate those into kills, we saw just how well they steamrolled that last round. If they can do it again, I think it's quite understandable that they could find themselves up 2-0.
They're definitely going to be looking to call in some of those kills with those nitro cells, but I think Emergence is going to be a little bit more conscious of that roam clear, because unfortunately for Emergence, they really just weren't able to get into the building with any sort of indication. They were picked off pretty handedly throughout any attempt to get inside, and if they were able to get inside, they weren't long to last. Obviously, we saw Clouds. He was able to pull a little bit of the round back, but overall, just a very dominant defense from Wichita to not even let them inside of the building. But as we've seen from Goria time and time again, he's going to be looking to solo entry while Son of Finn here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get any of the drone play out, but big picture here, it looks like Wichita Wolves aren't really going for too big of an extended roam presence. Obviously, we have Tyrant upstairs to play alone there on the Mozzie. I do love that P10 Roni, a very accurate gun. We also have Iski up here as well to help him hold on to 90. And you know what? I'm absolutely wrong. I'm sorry. I see the extended roam presence now. Obviously, Devil playing by cool vibes, but Emergence taking this around a little bit slowly, just trying to sort of enable their entrance inside of the building.
Yeah, once bitten, twice shy seems to be the case here for Emergence. They're not going to just brute force their way towards the bomb site the way they did last time. They don't want to get punished. And Goria, never mind. He's just going to go in face first anyway. That seems to be his style. He's already into billiards at the moment. Looking to pressure it. Oh, he's going for the spray into Hookah. Can't quite find it at the moment, though. Drone economy is looking a bit rough. Tyrant, he's been tagged in the theater at the moment. He's feeling the pressure, feeling the pinch right now, as they are gearing up to go for... Oh, my lord! Iski's the one to go down in 90, but Son of Finn finds Anarchy, all while Ben is so busy distracted with Tyrant. They are just winning those. Son of Finn will go down. He was trying to play off the bullet holes, but Gory is there to back him up, try and enable the pick up here. It's Tyrant to find moved. He's doing some real damage as he confirms onto Ben as well. One man and a P10 only. It's all you need. And well, Goria, he's there as well. He gets Devil. He's going to be able to potentially... No, Faded is there. Clouds confirms onto Tyrant. They're just swinging back and forth in terms of these frags. It's Goria and Clouds versus Faded. And Faded is a man who can play phenomenally when he needs to. Running around with that smoke and the SMG-11, he could actually steal this one away.
He definitely could steal this one away. Currently playing inside of main lobby, gets droned out. He does have rough control of the diffuser, though, and he could be just trying to protect that a little bit and get a pick, then try to make his way back into the site. But we see the vertical pressure being brought out here from Clouds on the Buck, but unfortunately, he's going to have to contest with Goria, who notices his head. We talk all about Goria's fragging presence. Faded, not going to be able to pull out that clutch situation this time, and the scoreline is even.
He just holds mouse one and swings the stairs. I mean, look, that couldn't have gotten any more Goria. Honestly, like that epitomizes his style of play. The man is literally a playground. He's just full of swings. and he wins them more often than not. And we're going to be heading back down to kitchen service once again. And the real question is, do we see a significant adaptation coming out of Wichita Wolves? Because that got shut down pretty hard, in honesty. Yes, it was a 2v1 at the end, but realistically, it came off of the back of the fact that Emergence, not even Goria himself, the rest of the roster was winning their gunfights.
When the rest of the Emergence's roster can look as strong as they did in that last round, obviously they fed Tyrant a couple kills there at the end, but when Emergence's roster is fully clicking, they are one of the most dangerous teams in SCS. And when you have a champion level player like Goria, you know, we keep singing his praises, and I don't think we've stopped, but there is no reason to, right? He has been absolutely insane throughout the course of the season. Obviously, that 1.47 rating comes to mind, but when the rest of Emergence can put their brains together and sort of play together as a full 5-stack as opposed to just trying to help Goria get those kills, we see how strong they can be, and they've looked like contenders throughout the course of the season when it's all of the roster playing in a sort of virtuoso type of effect as opposed to just a bunch of different instruments playing a bunch of different notes. But into the attacking phase we go. A little bit of the site setup still being sort of brought out here from Wichita Wolves, but again, I don't think Emergence has to change anything over the course of this round. Maybe you know, enable Goria to get those kills, maybe allow him to be a little bit more of an aggressor. But overall, they had a great plan for that last round, and it's up to Wichita to adjust to that a little bit here. And Tyrant holding that same position, but Tyrant's going to have to go big once again. He's going to have to get those kills, and then obviously this first engagement between Devil and Goria is going to be crucial.
This is an interesting proposition. There's so much pressure off the bomb. There's 4 players off the bomb site. There is only Faded in. If Emergence can read into this, we could see just like an aggressive rush. But no, Devil, he's going to pull himself back, realize that there's so much commitment elsewhere on the map. He doesn't want to give up that opportunity. And Devil, he seems to have flipped a bit of a switchy. You know, I'll play the Maestro, don't worry, guys. And then, you know, that last round, it just sort of came apart. They were dismantled handily. And he said, you know, I'm going to go Vigil this time. I'm going to be going for the hard frags at the moment. And Goria, he's on the hunt. He's pushed into Billiards yet again. Not quite as early as we saw last time, but they're definitely in the position to actually contest here. X-Kairos into VIP. Ziski tries to give a haircut to move, but it doesn't matter. He finds the kill on the Tyrant anyway. Again, finding that opening frag. Iski as well dropped in theater, so they are starting to win those gunfights. This is what Emergence need to be doing to pick this one up. And with 2 players down and just over 1 minute play, sorry, this could be another Emergence win.
Definitely could, and it's going to be up to the fact as to whether or not they can get a good refrag off of Iski here. Obviously, Emergence have no idea whether or not Iski is down. They're still feeling his pressure, despite him losing a lot of blood there, just lying down on the ground. But they forfeited the top floor. Emergence is just going to be looking to push down these white stairs, but they are going to have to contend with Faded before anything, who is holding a very good angle to contest onto the top of the white stairs. But unfortunately, I think Emergence have read around it, and instead they're going to be looking to just make their way onto the site. And actually, Devil's been downed as well. Goria getting the kill onto him, and it's only 2 players remaining for the side of Wichita Wolves with 30 seconds remaining. Faded's going to be able to find one back onto Sonafin, but unfortunately, it's still looking grim for Wichita Wolves as we head into the sort of execute period, but Faded is able to find another. Clouds is going to fall, and Ben is going to be trying to plant that diffuser. Faded, unfortunately, not able to win the gunfight up against the Habana of Move, but Anarchy able to get the refrag out. Unfortunately, Goria, right time, right place. Emergence with 2 in a row.
I mean, Goria is like a savant of Rainbow Six. Like, just the sheer map knowledge, the gun skill, the ability to be in the right place at the right time. The kid's a genius. It's hard to you know, contest that fact. And as we head back up to Hookah Billiards once again, this is the bomb site that we saw Wichita Wolves win, and they won it quite handily. Left Clouds in a 1v5 situation and didn't really have much for him to do. So coming into this, you see a couple of changes that have been made. Emergence starting to feel themselves a little bit more. I think we're going to see a little bit more of a cohesive setup in terms of that push, because last time it was a little bit disjointed. They were sort of all over the place, and you know, one player went in, went down. Goria went in, went down. So I think we're going to see a much more coordinated push, and I think this is the respect coming out of Wichita Wolves. They understand just how powerful this team can be when they're firing on all cylinders, so they're going to bring a castle, they're going to lock down some of those long angles, deny the potential of them to pop off. And, well, hey, the question is it going to be enough, especially given that, you know, Goria now on the Ash has 3 breaching rounds instead of just 2.
Obviously, she brings those breaching charges as well, so no soft destructible walls have any sort of chance or any soft destructible floor. But yeah, Emergence looking very strong throughout the course of these last 2 rounds, and it hasn't been just Goria. That is the big thing that we want to highlight here. Obviously, we've been singing Goria's praises throughout the course of this, but yeah, Emergence looks like they're clicking on all cylinders, except obviously Ben looking to get his first kill, but he's made impacts in other ways. Obviously, that drone presence is definitely something that you can sort of highlight for yourself. We do see a castle, I believe, for the first time here on the hookah, just prevent that pressure that could happen from the balcony. But yeah, like you said, Emergence is going to be looking to do a little bit more of a cohesive take as opposed to just throwing bodies in a one-on-one, because it doesn't matter what kind of defense you're playing against. If you're throwing bodies at a one-on-one, those refrags are going to come. And yeah, we do see the top hatch actually getting destroyed with no real sort of impact. It wasn't hard. So apparently that aspect.
No,
of the
it
patch
was
didn't come
still
out.
soft. So yeah, obviously they didn't introduce that portion of the patch, but yeah, no, that's interesting. It said that was going to be coming into effect, but no,
Right.
it didn't. So maybe it was just Coastline that was left alone because there's
It's
only
just
the
the
one
caster
patch,
curse.
so,
It's just the caster curse.
yeah. Hey, look, Chief has proved that is a very real thing. So we'll try to avoid it if we can. But at the moment, the setup is well and truly there. Emergence are getting some great positional control here. The castle is going to be largely for naught at the moment as those breaching rounds coming into effect, just destroying them as Goria makes his way in through luggage, pushing in towards Aqua. But you see the angles that are already established here. This is going to be a hard... Oh, no. Oh, don't do it to him. Iski's just dancing around the drone hole. Lucky to escape the way that he did, but it's Devil, the first one to fall. Then connects with that M762, just standing up aggressively, looking at the long angle into billiards. That's creativity at its finest, and they make it work. Boy, do they. At the moment, Faded, he's the one contesting here. White screen, there we go. But unfortunately, Goria has been hit as well. It's great and all, but when your teammate is suffering just as heavily, but Goria can't win the gunfight. He jumps over towards Faded. It's going to be Son of Finn to connect on the second time around, so definitely mops up that unfortunate situation that Goria found himself in. And you look at this, a 2-pronged assault in towards Billiards. You've got 2 players on the bomb site, 1 below. Anarchy could go huge here. Unfortunately, no nitro cell, so he's going to have to play around those floor holes. But this is getting very tenuous for Wichita Wolves.
If Wichita can win those horizontal battles onto Tyrant and Anarchy, as I say that, though, one of the horizontal battles was almost lost. Ben was downed, but he is going to get picked back up.
I think that was a reset. No? It looked like a reset.
I'm not so sure, but yeah, if they can win these horizontal battles, then Anarchy doesn't have too much of a chance, but he is holding the one and only entry point that Emergence have opened up for themselves. No shots come out though, but the verticality perfectly played there. Iski with a kill of his own, but Clouds is able to get the refrag onto him. So Son of Finn has fallen, and it's going to be Clouds alone in a 1v2. He has a one-on-one gunfight to win here up against Tyrant. Unfortunately, it's not looking like he's going to be able to win it out, and there's just too many bodies to deal with from Wichita Wolves. A closer round from Emergence was that, but unfortunately not close enough, and Wichita Wolves are able to respond after dropping 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where Emergence, they didn't respect the potential of the verticality. I mean, realistically, that's a position by the bomb chassis that is 9 times out of 10 opened up by defensive teams, so you can play those vertical angles down below, and they just didn't respect that Anarchy was able to get the frag off the back of it, and we're sitting 2-2 at the moment, so the possibility that 4-2 half is still a reality for either team. Possibility of a 3-3 half is still a reality as well as we head down to double bars, and this is the change-up you want to see. Ben is bringing out the line. We see the Whammy coming out for Devil, so a couple of the changes coming in here. But this signals to me that we could see a much more aggressive than we've already seen so far, round coming out here.
I mean, the line's so prevalent at just locking people into place, and if you are sitting in a singular place, Goria is just going to click your head. You'd never want to give a fragger like Goria a still targeted, but that's exactly what Ben was brought onto the board here for. Obviously, this is the first instance of the Bars defense in this matchup, so we're going to be looking to see how Wichita Wolves is sort of able to control the rest of the map. Did you know card on the bottom? Obviously, last time Emergence and Wichita Wolves played was in our seasonal semifinals from last season, where Wichita Wolves was able to take it out. But I think Coastline was actually the map that they dropped. So yeah, Emergence proving that they can take maps off of. Oh nope, never mind. I lied. Ferme is in my ear telling me that I am a liar and I should stop speaking. But yeah, Emergence did win this map. Okay, yeah, okay. Oh wait, Emergence did win. Oh wow, wait, I'm confused. Never mind. I'm gonna pass by that point. But the drone presence being brought out vertically on the top floor, obviously you want to be able to establish a little bit of that vertical pressures onto the double bars. Obviously, the double bar ceilings are both very strong. Yeah, okay. I'm getting some clarification. Emergence was the first team to win a map against Wichita Wolves, right? Yeah.
Well, hey, look, if that's any momentum to ride, it'd be this time that you want to ride it. At the moment, drones are going in. Goria, he's on the hunt. He knows that there's at least one player close here in Hookah. Can he swing and find the frag? But you can see the respect that Wichita Wolves are paying. They know that, chances are anyone who is in the first is going to be Goria, and he's going to be on the hunt looking for frags. Moved, he's in Aqua as well, so they have somewhat of a pinch set up here. In fact, they're all stacking up on the Hookah door, looking to go for that hard execute. Well, just two of them anyway. Concussion, it goes in deep, but no one's going to be found by it. The hatch was open, so the drop down did happen. So they've conceded top floor control as we head towards the second half of this round. Santos, it's so close right now. They have the vertical control. And Goria, no, he's the first one to go down. He's finished off by a Tyrant. Nitro SMG11 combo connects and pays out dividends for Wichita Wolves.
So the first kill being brought out, and that's a very big person that you want to bring down. Moved is going to be brought down as well. That's her Habana off the board. And Ben's only going to be able to make so much of a difference as this Lion now. Obviously, that V308 is pretty strong. The first of the Lion charges does come out, but unfortunately, nobody in Wichita Wolves in position for getting caught out by any of the members of Emergence. But Clouds, was able to pull one back out. So was Son of Finn. They were able to lock Anarchy into position and get 2 free kills as a result of that. So it's going to be up to Devil, Iski, and Faded from Wolves to try and bring this one back, and Ben just watching a very tight angle onto the kitchen. But we see where the positioning of Wichita Wolves are. We have Devil playing a little bit of a looser sort of on-site presence, giving a little bit of presence onto Office as well, and then his teammate playing inside of Sunrise Bar. But Emergence has brought this one back off of those 2 free kills, but 15 seconds remaining to go on the round, and yeah, Ben and Evil Clouds just looking to make their way inside of the site and try to take into Blue Bar. Unfortunately, Ben is going to be felled, and unfortunately, they don't have diffuser, or actually, they are going to be able to get the diffuser down. Nope, never mind. Unfortunately, time was just not on their side, and Wichita Wolves with 2 in a row, they take round 5.
Yeah, just stumbling over themselves a little bit there. It felt like Emergence, they had the setup, they had the tools they needed to try and get the bomb site nice and early. They had the vertical control. They just couldn't find those kills until it got too little too late. And Goria with an interesting operator hover at the moment. I would be surprised if the Jackal got stuck out, but I mean, the man's incredibly versatile. He can play any number of different operators. I know it's looking like he's going to be sticking with the Spaniard here. So they're doubling down on that roam clear in the final round of the half as we head back to kitchen. Once again, it's good to see the read coming out. They understand how tenuous that... Actually, no, this is a bold read, in fact, because Hookah has been the bomb site. They did win it last time, so I suppose, yeah, they've got to go kitchen now. But honestly, with the way that kitchen has been playing out for them, you almost think that potentially Theater Penthouse might have been a better choice.
I mean, Theater Penthouse has just fallen way far out of the meta. Just a lot of soft destruction that could be brought from the bottom up. Definitely not a sort of ideal situation for Wichita Wolves, and they do trust their kitchen defense because that is the better of the 2 defenses remaining. And We see the same sort of setup being brought out here from Wichita, that deployable shield being brought in 90, and then the Jaeger ADSs to prevent it from being destroyed. So Emergence, if they're able to read into this, then they could have an easy take again. Obviously, they've been dominant on the kitchen side, but you see the sort of macro level strategy that Emergence have been going for. Bringing the Lion last round as well as the Jackal this round, they want to try and lock the other operators' positions down as much as possible, and then lock them into place in that position. So, yeah, Emergence could be on the precipice of evening up the scoreline here, but I'm sure Wichita Wolves have brought out their defensive adjustments as well. So, the main thing for Wichita Wolves here on this defense is don't give away any bodies for free. They've succumbed to that on their first two kitchen tries, and unfortunately, that just spelled the sort of
anarchy, bro. Anarchy. Oh, that was what? Tyrant. He threw his nitro towards the white window and hit Tyrant the wall. Oh no! Okay. He knew there was someone on the rappel. He knew someone repelled outside the window, but he just short armed it and caught Tyrant instead. So hey, look, that could be the avenue they need to start getting this round on the board for Emergence. You see, Devil's used his as well, so they could actually translate this into some big advantage at the moment. Goria, he's going to be tagged. He's going to see some feet too. He knows just where Devil has an idea of where Devil is now. He's going to continue scanning. Same person. He's on the case here, looking for that Cade. Might even try and find a vertical angle onto him as well. But I think at the moment comms are a little bit chaotic as Iski finds the opener on the cloud. So there's some redemption coming out here in those triple ADS stacks. He finds the angle onto Moon. Going to clap back onto Tyrant. So at least they are drawing things a little bit closer. But that's a lot of pressure now gone. The X-Kairos and the Skeleton Key off the board. Vertical pressure is almost non-existent other than those breaching charges coming out of Ben. So they're going to have to... Oh, actually, no, that's right. Secondary shotgun for this Spaniard as well. So they do have options, but with a minute left to play, it feels like they're going to have to force it a little bit. Oh, this could be an angle that Ben wants to contest. Can he see the player? No, just out of there as fast as you can imagine. Son of Finn finds Devil in kitchen, though. They're finding these gunfights, but they just don't have the positional advantage to go for the execute just yet.
You're right, no positional advantage, but if Anarchy's not aware of this push down the white stairs from Goria, he could potentially be caught out, or the person playing inside a bathroom as well. And we see the power of Jackal being brought out here, but we also see the power of the ARX as Son of Finn is able to find Anarchy, or excuse me, it was Iski. Anarchy is actually being sought out here though by Goria, who is playing at the bottom of white stairs. Anarchy with a fraction of his HP, this gunfight could be somewhat lethal for him, but Ben adjusting his planting position, he's actually going to be able to get it down if Faded is none the wiser. And Emergence, nice 3-3 scoreline here. That's exactly what you want in the attacking half. You might be even asking for a 4-2, but this 3-3 is certainly gratuitous for sure.
It's an interesting half for sure as well, because Goria, on the whole, has been kind of quiet. This is not the standout Goria performance that we're used to. Moved, Son of Finn and Ben have all been stepping up to fill the majority of their void clouds. He's been there. He hasn't really, gone huge, but he's been involved. So the rest of the team is stepping up, and Goria, he feels like he's not quite living up to the onus that we've given him so far. But coming into the defense, that could change. He's going to be on the Jaeger. We'll see how this plays out for their defense. Move on the 6th pick at the moment in this kitchen defense. Is he going to go for a change? Is he going to stick with it? It's going to be a vigil, so no breach to null. And although unrealistically on kitchen, that's not something you desperately need.
I mean, we talk about the drone economy a lot. Obviously, that vigil is going to be sort of a way to sort of prevent the impact that drones have. Obviously, on a map like Coastline, you're going to get found pretty much no matter what, just due to how tight this map can be. And I mean, a 5-4. We talked about Goria here and how much we've been singing his praises. A 5-4 scoreline by other name, pretty respectable, but it's only by Goria where we can call that a quiet scoreline. But we see Son of Finn. He's actually been a standout performer today. We see him 8-5, obviously playing the Legion here, so he's going to be looking to slow down that Wichita attack as much as possible. We see the sort of macro strategy that they have with the Malusi as well as the Legion. What?
Sorry,
Oh,
Son
wait,
of
the
it looks
peak.
like. Oh no!
Oh,
Look at
wait,
they've got
two
a
of them.
spawn peak and a run out potentially set up here. Ping's coming out, so I think it's Sonofin just
Please.
feeding information. Moved was looking for it. That was aggressive. Oh no! The rappel. Does he say? Oh no! He pulls off the angle. Moved the freest kill of his career. Pulls off the angle. Now that information has gone to Wichita Wolves, they see that the luggage window is open. Feed that one through. There was so much potential in the setup there for Emergence, and it comes to nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, not able to find the kill onto Iski, who makes his way up into Aquarium and then into the billiards room as well. But we do see Move looking to reaggress onto the players that are trying to take this top floor of Coastline. Obviously, it's a kitchen defense, so as much as you can prevent that vertical presence is just going to benefit your team. But we actually see Sonofin taking a little bit of damage here. I'm not exactly sure from. I think it was just a stray bullet from someone on the rooftop or someone playing that vertical angle as we were just discussing. But yeah, a lot of time being wasted relatively, right? It's Coastline, so you need to be able to waste a little bit more time than this. But I do like what the Roamers have done so far from Emergence, because Wichita Wolves are looking a little hesitant to make their way inside, but Tyrant could be the victim of an initial engagement here from Moved. It's going to depend. Obviously, we're seeing the Zofia charges being brought out, but Goria is actually there in tandem with him as well. He's going to be able to get two before getting down by Anarchy, and overall, a very good engagement from Emergence there. Especially if they can pick Goria back up.
Yeah, look, hey, Goria does not care. They
Not
don't think they're going to be able to pick him up. In fact, Devil's the one to steal it away. I think he did all the hard work, but Devil took it for himself. But Goria with the translate, that's a huge amount of utility off the board. That's a huge amount of the vertical pressure. I mean, they've still got a sledge and a bug, so they sort of doubled down on it. But Iski and Tyrant would have been two of the the players to go for those hard frags. Oh, Clouds, don't do it to him. He's looking for the angle outside from the kitchen window. Very aggressive. Ben finds the slot onto Anarchy with an ISL to give them. And with that, they're just going to keep that bleeding up for Wichita Wolves, just stealing away the utility, stealing away their lives. With that, we haven't really touched on it. The fact that Thatcher's still on the board as Devil takes the head off of Ben for some vengeance there. But yeah, Thatcher's still on the board. Really hasn't been involved in much of anything. And in a 2v2 with 15 seconds left, frag grenade thrown. But the ADSs are there. The changes, they are now infinite. As Fader just funneling through, gets tagged up by Sonofin. Devil's on the plant. It's just more and more chaos going for the swing. Wow. Clouds, he wins it out. He just goes huge. And Emergence, they take the first round of the second half as they were just forced to funnel in through service.
Yeah, obviously the fact that they were able to funnel in Wichita into a very single-pronged attack just proved to be the end of Wichita Wolves and the advantage of Emergence. Obviously, that those two kills from Goria were huge, even though he did lose his life, and then some very good sight play to really drive that round home. But off to the bars we go. We do see an Ella being brought out here from Sonofin. I think that's a very sort of interesting pick, just a very frag heavy operator being brought onto the board. Obviously, Thatcher didn't make too much of a difference in that last round. We do see an No, bring me the alibi. Okay, we have the alibi being brought onto the board, and alibi I think is going to be a sleeper pick for this season of Rainbow Six Siege. She brings a lot to the table, whether that be the deployable shields, whether that be her Prisma devices, causing a little bit of last second guessing your shots there with those Prisma devices, and a very solid gun, a very solid set of guns actually. Unfortunately, she didn't bring the bailiff, but she does have that SMG, which is so strong in terms of its rate of fire and its overall fragging potential. So I think I love this alibi pick here.
100%. The only reason that we see an alibi, a jackal, and an Ella pick at the moment is these guys have not done their battle pass challenges. They're just trying to get some points on the board, get some of those skins, get those levels. But no, yeah, Alibi really has started. There has been a significant rise in prominence in the last few months anyway, even without the new changes that have come in with this patch. So yeah, 100% definitely an operator that is going to see a rise in priority, as well as that Ella as well, having the deployable shield. It's just going to make its way into the current meta. And as this round starts up, Anarchy, he's draining towards Arco. It's a very split take coming out here from Wichita Wolves. They're looking to cover a lot of ground. We've seen how this plays out. It's a situation where it can be punished by the defenders if you start to pick away at those attacking operators. A little bit of damage here translates into even more damage going into the late round because the attackers then need to force their way through and try and make something happen. Oh no, Ben. That is a disgusting angle to hold. He's trying to set it up. They're trying to play around the vertical angles. They're trying to contest this defensive lineup because if Emergence can take another round away, they push themselves that much closer to denying another map away from Wichita Wolves.
I mean, I like to talk about how, you know, each map is controlled by a different side, and Coastline is the only map in the pool right now that I would consider to be attacker sided, but no real roam presence being brought out upstairs, and that looks like it's going to be punished there as Wichita Wolves' first kill comes out from Anarchy. He's going to be able to take out Ben, so Ben's not going to be able to play those rat angles that he was setting up, but yep, the vertical presence being brought out from the side of the Wolves, and they're just looking to sort of pounce on everyone from Emergence like a wolf pack as they just continue to Swiss cheese this floor upstairs and really just pressure all of Emergence into those
Finn,
sort of
Finn.
What? Finn, what? Looked to the right. Unfortunately, Finn was caught looking the wrong way, and Devil's going to catch him sleeping, as well as Clouds. Unfortunately, not finished off by Devil, but a lot of damage done and forced into a corner because of the vertical presence. And it's not looking good for Emergence in this round here.
What is going on? There has been some
goodness.
questionable plays, and Anarchy just steps up and finds the frag. Iski finds Goria. This round has just been an absolute throwaway. There were so many key mistakes that were made, and as a result, you know, it's just a round going back to Wichita Wolves. They draw it back even as they win double bars here. That was, yeah, look, there's only so much you can comment on that. There was so many misplays.
That was questionable to say the least. There were just a bunch of different misplays, as you said. Obviously, losing bodies early because of the vertical presence, not really being aware of the positions that you are taking on the map, and really just making those shots easy for the Wolves. And hookah and billiards, we're gonna be going there for the first time, but there is a lot to polish there from the side of Emergence. They don't want to go back to bars because they were picked apart by that attacking side, and we do see the Goyo being brought out here from moves, but overall the defensive lineup hasn't changed. Meanwhile, the Wolves again bringing that Jackal. I'm loving the Jackal picks here. Obviously, just being able to track down the positions of operators without having to use drones has definitely been key, and obviously that C70 is a very effective fragging tool as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see just how they can translate that into some of that pressure. Finn, he's been a little bit quieter on the defense at the moment. We saw him stand out on the attack. Definitely got some big impact frags there. But Clouds, he's definitely chimed in. He's definitely stacking up a few here. Hookah Billiards, it's an interesting bomb site. It can be one that's very, very hard to attack, but also one that's very, very hard to retake if the plant does go down. So, oh, Goria, no. Goria, don't do it to him. He's looking for the chip from main lobby. If he could find a frag here, that would be some early damage that desperately needs to be done. But no, not a single Wichita Wolves member has spawned over that side. It's all ruins. It's all pool entrance here as they are stacking up, ready to go. Trying to get themselves some more of that control. It looks like Iski might be heading downstairs, trying to sweep over through from below and create some more of that floor is lava pressure. Goria respects it, pulls off the angle, and we'll be heading back towards kitchen here as they are just trying to keep up that roam, trying to keep up the threat of an offside presence. And the contest going to be coming here. Oh no! Unfortunately, Goria just not quite enough to contest up against the Canadian here. Anarchy handily every time he's been given them.
So Anarchy with a very big opening pick onto such a strong player that is Goria, but Goria has been shut down throughout the course of this matchup. That's weird to say considering he has 7 kills, but overall hasn't been that sort of magic maker that you would expect him to be. And Sonafin isn't going to be making much magic either as he's going to be felled. That's the smoke off the board as well. So You lose your biggest onside operator, but Ben is going to be able to find one back onto Iski with a very nice kill onto him, and the man count is now even as Anarchy is going to fall as well, with Evil Clouds getting that pickup there. Even more nice shots are coming out as Moved able to take out Faded, and this defense was looking a little bit weak, but they've brought it back for sure, and Wichita Wolves are scrambling here looking for answers, but Deviled Egg is going to be planting, or Devil, excuse me, going to be planting that diffuser. It's going to go down, and it's going to be a retake situation now. Moved is going to, oh, they win it out. Actually moved in Evil Clouds with the final 2 kills, and Emergence, beautiful retake there. And the team down comes out as well. Move out of the way, and Ben finally confirms the disable, and Emergence take round 9, 5-4.
Move who did like the majority of that work paired with Clouds just gets one tapped in the back of the head with the bailiff, so Ben can get the so Ben can get the defuse. Hey, look, if nothing screams team play more than team killing. As we go into round number 10, though, round lead now in favor of Emergence yet again. They're 2 rounds away, closing out map number 1 and taking another convincing victory. Well, I say convincing, it was pretty honestly. Like the rest of this is we spoke about what needed to happen. Emergence to actually come in today and contest this, and it was the rest of the boys to step up, not just rely on Goria to go hard and carry the game. And that's exactly what's happening here. The rest of Emergence are the ones winning this. Goria, he's found a few frags, but you look at the stats on the whole. Yes, you know you've got a player who's sitting 4 kills at the moment, but Ben, he's 4, 5, and 7, so he's been contributing. He's contributed to 9 kills overall, so he has been heavily involved. I'm sorry, team kills are. Hey, look, team kills are still kills. That's something that I stand by. So technically, Ben got himself a double. So. Coming into this round, Kitchen defense, it's been a tenuous one. We see Emergence go for something that isn't traditionally played in comp at the moment, which is, almost the full reinforcement of that kitchen wall. Usually you leave it open so you can get some control from main lobby as well. But, hey, look, Goria, we'll see what he can do here. Son of Finn, oh my lord. They are so aggressive here. Son of Finn, last time he was punished so heavily for looking the wrong way. Surely we don't see him get something off the back of this.
Well, he's going to look, that's for sure. And unfortunately, due to that new 1-second run out timer, he is going to be giving his position away as well. And for nothing, basically. And actually Moved is going to be found very early here. Anarchy already inside of the building. What's going on? Devil planting the diffuser as well. And I don't think Emergence are any the wiser. Unfortunately, none of the reflex have come out. And Sonafin is going to be able to find one onto the planter, or Clouds to follow. And Anarchy with a double kill on the round. That's actually 3 for him so far, but only 30 seconds remaining in this round here, and they're going to have to pull something magical from the bag of tricks here as Goria is continuously taking damage. But Wichita Wolves look like they have firm control of the site with Anarchy going for 4. Will Goria be able to shut down this ace here? Unfortunately, his position is sought out. Anarchy could be looking for this ace, and Goria very aware of his position. The flash grenade does come out, but Goria able to pull one back. But unfortunately for Emergence, that rush strat works out perfectly, and Wichita Wolves, we have drawn even once again.
Yeah, okay. That was 100% a caught sleeping moment. That was brutal. Like, yeah, Ediki 100% deserved the ace there, but it was Goria that was the final player that he needed to find. So I think the realms of possibility where that happened were few and far between. But look at that. You're going back to kitchen once again. They can't go to hookah if they wanted to anyway. But okay, Ben. All right, okay. I think this purely. Yes. It's a Warden. It's a clash. They're going big here. They get them. Point. I'm so excited. Warden is an operator that is also going to see a huge rise in priority now because flashbangs are going to be used for their original intent. Who counters them? Warden. He's got the glasses. He's got a nitro cell this time. He didn't have the deployable shield, but oh my lord, look at those impact grenades. 6 on the board. I don't know what the plan is here, but they're going to work. I would be very, very concerned if we saw Wichita Wolves go for 2 rush strats in a row.
I mean, that would be just another question for the Emergence defense, but I don't think Wichita Wolves are going to go for that another time. Right? But let's talk a little bit about Warden here. Warden, I'd like to think of him as like a portable Wamaya, portable Jaeger, in the fact that he just counteracts any of the flashbangs or any of the smoke grenades that could come out, and also able to see also able to see through smoke grenades almost the same way that Glass can, obviously. Warden is going to be a very pivotal operator here. I love this new patch because we're seeing a bunch of different operators being brought back to the forefront here, and I love the direction that this patch is taking the game. And yeah, we see more interesting rounds as we've sort of shown you guys throughout the course of this matchup here. These rounds have been absolutely close, and I know for me for certain I'm going to be asking how has the most recent patch sort of changed the meta game here.
Well, I mean, going into next year, going into SI 2021, you know, this new patch is going to make for some absolutely phenomenal play. So I'm excited to see that coming out. But look, Warden is a pick that has made an appearance on this map. Is Goria. He swings hard. Devil goes down. The diffuser control. That's also the line off the board. So already big damage being done, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the clash. So I mean, hey, it's Goria at the end of the day. What are you going to do? Just have to win your ones, and against him, it's more like a half versus one. Goria's still alive. He's still healthy. He's still on the hunt here. As it seems that Wichita Wolves are a little concerned. There you go. You see the Claymore coming out for the Ash now. No longer has those stun grenades. So at least that has made an appearance here today. I think more often than not, Ash has just been killed. So explosions from above. I think Ben went for the nitro cell. Yeah, he did. Couldn't find it. He's going to be gunned down. Anarchy again. This man has just been fragging up a storm here for Wichita Wolves. A solid pickup, and has proved that he deserves a place on this team. Goria, he's back on the flank, same spot. He's looking for more. Can he do the damage? Sees the Claymore, sees the drones, shoots them, and heads back downstairs.
Goria, unfortunately for Wichita Wolves, is still on the board, and he and Anarchy are the biggest two fragging sort of counteractions that we've seen throughout the course of this matchup. But we see Sonafin on the Clash actually trying to slow down Anarchy as much as possible and move there in perfect position to get the frag onto him. Iski is going to fall as well. I love the defensive sort of structure that we're seeing from Emergence here, and it's going to be up to Faded and Tyrant alone in a 4v2. Unfortunately, Tyrant's going to fall as well, but he can pick himself back up. They're not even going to give him that chance, and moved. Going insane throughout the course of this matchup. We've seen him get some very big impact kills, and Emergence on the precipice of match point. But if the match history has been any sort of indication, Wichita Wolves are probably going to bring back the next one, and we might see an overtime here.
Well, it's Hookah coming out, and the last time it was played, it was a very, very convincing defense coming out of Emergence. So, I honestly believe we could see this map denied in regulation time. Oh no, son, don't do it to him. That's got to be a six-pick. These guys have been playing a very, very, you almost want to say messy, but no, it's scattered style of play, and they've made it work. There we go. It's going to be a clash again instead, so C2C makes it work, but look, the key player in the defense the last time around was moved. He was on the Goyo. He held cool vibes there, shut down a plethora of players, not to mention Cloud's impact. He was on the Legion last time. This time, he's going to be on the Maestro. I mean, T5 SMG is great, but the older 5.56 is better. Let's be honest. The hose is going to be locking down some of these long angles. They're setting themselves up for the defense. I believe Emergence can deny Wichita Wolves a win here in regulation.
I mean, do we sound? We don't sound biased, right? Like we just love a good matchup. And Emergence, this is an. I mean, they're pretty close in the standings, but this is a very big. This would be an upset for sure because you know Wichita Wolves by legacy has been one of those unstoppable teams that you just expect to roll through, but we do see the fact that we are in the action phase now, and we could see some aggression again being brought out from Emergence. Obviously, we saw the position of the Clash trying to hold on to Sunrise Bar, and yeah, I love the aggressive strategy, the sort of aggressive macro play that Emergence have gone for throughout the course of the matchup here. And oh my goodness. This
is how Clash is meant to be played. You stack someone up on the shoulder. Moved. He played it last round. Oh, if he finds something off the back of this is just disgusting.
I mean, his position is known now because he didn't trigger the visual decloaking device with enough time, and the frag grenades are coming to clear out this clash. We're watching Prime Siege here, but actually, Sonafin is going to be felled here. I think he got shot in the back, but Cloud's there with a refrag onto Tyrant off the Zofia, and that's a lot of utility off the board. But again, that doesn't really necessarily matter now. But Anarchy getting aggressive on some move, Ben is going to fall as well. It's going to be up to Goria and Clouds here, but Goria looking to get aggressive, but notices the Claymore in the doorway. That's going to slow him down at least a little bit. He does shoot it out, and I'm not sure if Wichita Wolves are any the wiser because Clouds is causing a lot of chaos, but Faded is going to be able to find him. Unfortunately for Goria, the shots just don't hit. I'm pretty sure I called it, and Wichita Wolves have forced the overtime.
I think it was a little bit of Emergence for overforcing their hand in some of those situations. The fact that Ben got caught out by a Claymore would speak to potentially he was over-aggressing a little bit there. The double stack up downstairs when you had no utility denial meant those flash grenades were going to result in a white screen regardless. Not to mention the frag grenade. Yeah, look, hey, the multi-pronged approach. Oh, okay. Sorry. No, Devil.
What do you see?
We've seen some interesting stuff so far. We've some very interesting picks. Yeah, look, hey, but it will be a 6 pick off the Nook instead. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's going to be Ying instead. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so badly because with the changes, Jaeger is only so effective. Jaeger is only so effective against the Ying. At least 60% of the team is gonna have a white screen here in this round.
So throughout the course of the matchup, Anarchy, perfect on cost, obviously perfect as a fragger too, going 14 and 8, but he has made a noticeable impact on every single round. But this matchup is just so impactful and really just, it's really been an oddball in terms of just what to expect from each of these teams. I do love the Ying. I think it enables some very big aggressive plays, and obviously Devil knows how to lead that aggression. I'm not sure what we're going to see here, excuse me. And, you know, we see a very standard hold being brought out, but that could just be turned on its head if Wichita goes for another rush strat. But with very big certainty, we are sure that they're going to be entering the building as quickly as possible. But, do we see some more run-out potential? We see it from Clouds. He's not going to be able to find anyone, and that new run-out detector is going to force him back inside of the building before he can make any sort of an impact. And yeah, that aggression gives away his position, but he's going to be able to get away for free. But, oh, man, just so much interesting plays, and he's actually taking a little bit of damage as well.
Yeah, look, it was ambitious. That much was very, very certain. Look, we talked about how both these teams needed to do their homework right now. And I would imagine they have done some scrimming. Goria, he's going to be droned out. Oh, he's playing a dangerous game here. There's a player in Aqua. I think Tyrant overshot the mark there. If he just held on Aqua balcony while the drones were coming out, that probably would have translated into a kill. Either way, it would have been a risky one at that. And they're going for the same approach. They open up that pink bar wall. They're going to try and look for some of the angles down into main lobby. But Emergence, this is not the heavy aggression that we've seen out of them previously. They're playing it very, very reserved. They're waiting for their opponents to come to him, except for Sonafin, who's just, prone peeking onto service door. Why not? Make it happen. Go for something, some form of aggression, even if it's trained.
Oh my goodness.
And look at the stack up from above. 4 players in the vicinity. A Nitro Cell here could do some real damage, but Ben's already used no secondary Nitro Cell coming out, and he's looking for some of these angles. We're only heading into the second half of Santo, and you look at all the blue bodies upstairs. Oh, sorry, no, orange bodies upstairs, and Tyrant, he's going to be the first one to fall. Found and dealt with, but it's a Zofia. You can withstand. Has a teammate there to go for the pickup, as they are just looking for it moved. He finishes it off with that impact grenade, kept it in pocket just for a moment like that. That is saving utility. Devil, he's going to go for the peek in. Can he find it? There's 2 players stacked up on this doorway waiting for him to peek. Oh, no! The P10 Roni takes the head off a Devil. Unfortunately, having 80 count for much when a gun like the P10 Roni is in the hands of Ben. And they translate that quickly into 2-man advantages. With 40 seconds left, there has to be a force coming out here from Wichita Wolves.
Yeah, we do have to see an execute brought out here. Oh man, unfortunately that execute potential is going down by the second as Moved is able to find one onto Iski, and Anarchy still on the board here. Faded is able to find one of his own onto the Legion, but I'm pretty sure Legion has done most of his damage already, and Faded not checking his corners is going to be easily killed by Ben, and it's going to be up to Anarchy, who unfortunately can't pull any magic out of the bag this time. And Emergence, very dominant kitchen defense there. All they have to do is win one more attack round to take this matchup here. Oh my, what are we watching?
Santos, I have got some bad news for you. Emergence was one of the 2 teams involved in the second longest competitive Rainbow Six match in history, 24 rounds in Infinite Overtime. I think there is a very real possibility that we are heading to the same territory right now. We are going to be heading to Hookah Billiards for the second bomb site of Overtimes. And Salco, that's borderline BM because unfortunately Devil did not get a chance to use them. And look at the attacking roster of Emergence: Sophia, Jackal, Amaru, Ying, and Hibana for a Hookah Billiards defense. I think Son of Finn is going to go for the full send here. It was picked in the initial reveal phase, so the question is, are the mind games working right now? Will the read come from Wichita Wolves, or are we going to see the Amaru Gara hook straight into Billiards, find 4 frags, and result in this map going the way of Emergence?
Oh man, I mean, Son of It has made a marked impact in this matchup here, and he's looking to just drive the nail back home with that Amaru pick, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work out if we're going to be completely honest here, because he did bring it out towards in the initial pick phase, like you said. Hopefully Wichita is read into this, but we do see a sort of standard hold being brought out otherwise, because Amaru is only one operator. Obviously the G8 does go Burr, and if she makes that big of a difference, then that's sort of a question mark on your anchors. But I mean, we're just seeing some big plays being brought out from both of these sides, and oh man, you mentioned the Infinite Overtime. And I want to draw on that Team Empire versus G2 match. It happened on this map. We could be seeing that right now.
Yeah, you got to wonder, is Emergence having a bit of PTSD? It was Villa last time around, so at least they are going to be playing on something probably a little bit more friendly. It's a little bit brighter. You're going to be feeling a little bit happier as Tyrant. He's downstairs in Sunrise. He's looking for that information, looking to have an impact. Oh, Ben. Oh no, he's Son of Finn. He loses his head. The K1A, just as much as the G8 goes burst, so does the K1A. We didn't see the Gara hook at all. I'm hugely disappointed right now. And I will be sending a letter to the manager of Emergence as to why he didn't just full send it. As we go towards the end of the first minute, Clouds is still alive, so we still have the potential for the Ying plays to come out here. Stacked up on the balcony. There is Jaegers they need to deal with first, but with those 2 smokes, he at least can get 2 Candelas down.
Is Clouds going to be able to make a big difference in this round? Obviously, sitting at 13-6, if you peek him, your chances are you're going to lose your head, but this is a very tight angle that he has to watch out here for too, and he's actually really exposed, but he is going to be able to find a kill onto Devil, getting the down initially and then taking off his head as a punishment for falling onto the floor. Don't trip over your own shoelaces, but we also see Goria entering in through Aqua as well, and you asked for aggression, it looks like we're going to get it, and they do notice that one player is sitting inside a pink bar, and what is actually Goria, the damage comes out. It works. I love the sort of I love the innovation there. You do get a lot of damage onto Faded, but unfortunately no finish.
It's also opened up the floor hole.
He's taking a lot of damage, and wow, Faded's in a very sort of tough situation there, and his misery is brought to an end as Clouds is finally able to get the kill onto him. And it's looking well in the way of Emergence here, but Wichita still have their anchors alive, and Anarchy is still on the board, and as long as Anarchy is alive, you still have a chance. But they are going to have to be conscious of the fact that Anarchy is trying to play those vertical holes once again. They weren't conscious of that previously, and it proved to be their sort of Achilles heel. If they can pressure Anarchy, which they are looking to do, and they get the ultimate pressure, which is taking off his head, Ben is going to be looking to plant that diffuser as well. It goes down, but Iski trying to be that sort of last barrier there. Goria, finally he's appeared. Emergence take map 1. Coastline was insane. I can't wait to see what happens on Oregon, and what a spectacle this was, Blue Panda.
Yeah, Emergence, they deal a handy victory over to the side of Wichita. Well, both teams are going to get points, but like, hey, but we do have analysts to break down all the important stuff. I just, there's one thing that I want to talk about. So Faded, he's sitting there, he's in drinks, the impact comes out, he's like, that hurt, that sucked. Well, hold on, the floor's open, and then he gets shot anyway. Like, just the sheer panic that must have come out in that moment, thinking like, I've been tagged, I'm fine, and then dying anyway, not realizing that the threat was coming from below. Like, that is the best siege I have watched in a good long while. It was fun, it was entertaining, it was very, very competitive. So I'm excited to see what Oregon brings. But in saying that, like I did say, analysts will be breaking it down. So we'll throw it over them very, very quickly. They can take you through what happened in map number 1, and we'll be back for some Oregon action.
Attackers are heading out.
Hello! How's it going?
Oh, we just saw probably one of the most intense games I've ever watched in the SCS. Like, that game was going back and forth, back and forth. I didn't know who was going to win.
Dude, one thing that really blew my mind was seeing Emergence play on to Coastline, because I'm not sure about you. I saw Wichita Wolves winning this.
Yeah, like Wichita Wolves and Fury should be the better team here. But it seems like Emergence really wanted to play like this chaotic style and just relied on winning out gunfights and just doing weird stuff. Like we saw in the last round, how they had 2 people going below to contest. This is someone below to stop the plant. They contested them, killed them, and then ran up the stairs and blew and killed someone and finished the round like that. Like, what happens like that?
What? They played Coastline perfectly. It's like you were saying, they're playing chaotic. Coastline is all about that close quarter combat, and they played it to their advantage. Their positioning was all set up for holding those corners and making them take those engagements, which let them win most of the rounds. We saw in that last round, which, by the way, that vigil, I really want to see a replay of that vigil, because I originally wanted to look at the round because they picked a Amaru. Like, Amaru on Coastline, it's not really helping the team utility-wise, but that vigil inside Sunrise just immediately deleted that Amaru.
Yeah, and we see in this round, it was like very chaotic. People coming up the main stairs, and we see this Mozzie staying in that one room. He was stayed in there for almost the whole entire round. He was just stuck in there. And we see people coming up the stairs to try to help him out, and Emergence being like stuck what to do. And Tyrant just goes on a rampage. He should put on good night in his name, because those frags, like, I don't understand how you get them. And then Anarchy, can we talk about him? His frags were impactful. I believe he has the most kills in the lobby, right?
He did, until, who was it? Evil Clouds started popping off towards the last rounds, and I believe Evil Clouds came out with the most frags on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was definitely an experience.
Like, Anarchy, in my opinion, he is definitely going to be the map MVP. He had a perfect cost until, what was it, round 13?
Yeah, round 13.
To look at it as a player point of view, he is bringing so much on, like, for his team. Like, to me, that's impeccable gameplay.
Yeah, he helped decide the outcome of the round and almost the game for his team. Like, he just said, all right, I'm going to put the team on my back, and just started pulling them back. He's like, all right, I got this. But the weight got too heavy for him as Emergence. That last round, I'm going to keep bringing it up because I thought that actually was really good. They stopped. They had the man advantage. They stopped, took their time, and they realized in round 4, I believe in this one, in which people were down below, and they stopped the plant. And they realized that mistake from earlier, and they improvised and adapted to that. That's what I want to see from teams. Is realizing a mistake that happened, and then adapting and improvising. It was really fun to watch.
Oh, it's so true. That is what I like to see from a T3 team. They're adaptable. They knew that they would try and stop the plant below like they did last time they were playing this side, like you're talking about. They immediately did that. They changed their push. They sent the people below, and they're able to get plant down. They pushed up Cool Vibe and started pinching. They played that flawlessly. Emergence is looking like a very strong contender for SCS.
Yeah, definitely. And just them fragging out definitely helped him out too. Like, it's chaotic. That's all I can say. It felt like people taking gunfights instead of adapt. We didn't see more adaptability until later into the rounds. Like the first few rounds, it was more like chaotic mess, and in the end part of the game was more like strategy and who can outplay who. Like the Ying on the window, as immediately she got the kill on the Kaid, she got up because she knew that the Tyrant was down below and he could go for a jump out and kill her.
Oh yeah, that's so
And then
true.
right
I
here,
honestly,
just looks deleted. It just
the
gets deleted.
gameplay from both teams, I would say Emergence was the more adaptable team, which is what led them to the win on Coastline. Because we saw Wichita Wolves be very good on their attacks, their defense, like they were a strong contender. However, they didn't adapt as well as Emergence. If they adapted as well as Emergence, we would have saw this maybe go on Wichita's side, because it did in the end, go to overtime. That is still really good to see from Wichita going into Oregon.
Yeah, definitely. Like we saw here, almost the same thing we saw on round 14th. Anarchy below SM Lucy, waiting for the push to happen. In this round, he gets the kill, stops the plant, round is over. But in the end, they adapted to that, and he wasn't expecting them. Just two people rush at him full swing. It's just that adaptability, which we like to see here, because if you don't adapt, you don't win. And that's the whole part of Siege. You lose a round, all right, how did we lose it? Someone below, let's change that up. And I want to see that from more teams, like trying to adapt and be better. Because if they like just fix one mistake, that could change the round.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I like to also point out that, oh my, I just had it. Oh, there we go. It came back to me. You see, I had a question, and then you were talking. I was like, all right, I'm going to store this in the back of my head. And then once you stop talking, my brain's like, nah, fam, you don't need that memory. Nah, you come up with different question. No. But what ended up happening was, I'm really curious as to why they thought it was a good idea to plant on an open floor in the first place. Because we saw that in order to Anarchy to get those kills, like that whole floor is just blown out. If they just planted in a different area, maybe it just wasn't communicated. Maybe they just didn't have the information below. But a T3 team shouldn't be planting on an open floor. There's the kill that I was talking about right there.
That was like a 1 in a million shot right there.
All I'm saying is like he's gotta be on that G Fuel.
Yeah, he's on that G Fuel. He's on everything. He's like drinking G Fuel, Red Bull, Monster. He's drinking everything, and he's just like, all right, I'm going for kills, my dudes.
Yeah, dude. He's like, watch this, fam. I know this is what they like to hold it. Watch this.
Watch it. Here,
It's
here, let me put him to sleep right now.
Yeah, it's like you seen him type in chat. Can you clip this for me?
Dude, I was watching this right here, the Ying. If she just like moves just a little bit, she got the kill, but it seems like Patience was not on the Kaid side right there. As I was like, oh, she got the kill, and then she jumps up, 200 IQ right there. It's just like, you got the kill, now move out.
Yeah,
because I feel like people overstay, right, in tier 3.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like one thing that, well, most unfortunate thing for the Cade, as a player point of view, if it's like a minute 30 into the round, and I'm not gonna expect a player to be on that window repel for a whole minute. Like if
People
I
don't expect
was
that.
exactly like if I was Devil, I would be like, I would low key slam my keyboard, be like, bro, why is he still there?
Just like
Man,
yeah, just like this. We're back on the same situation we saw in round 4v3, and we keep talking about it because it's so good. Like I remember in the analyst voice chat, we were just screaming, "Oh, they have a chance!" right when they were pushing them below. It's something like that. But I gotta give props to where's that Anarchy just going at it, and then Evil Clouds too, him going at it too. Those two just started coming alive, and which gave us like the slugfest. We didn't think it was gonna be one, but it is.
Honestly, I'm excited for Oregon. If you were to choose one player to be the MVP for Oregon based off a team performance that you're seeing right now, who do you think that would be?
I think we're gonna see more of Evil Clouds. I feel like he really stepped it up, really helped out his team. But if Wichita Wolves want to get back into this, I really feel either Tyrant or Faded need to come alive. I feel like those players are really good. I saw them versus 303, and they did phenomenal. I want to see that more of them, more like the frag heavy, more of the I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, honestly, it's but it looks like we're gonna be transferring over to the casters now to start discussing over Oregon, get the whole map set up. But honestly, Oregon's gonna be a really great map. In my opinion, I think Gloria.
Yes.
Sorry, I think Gloria is gonna be the one that's gonna be emerging over on Emergence.
Now let's go
But-
back to our lovely casters.
You got it.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going into map number 2 of today's only series here in day number 2 of week. Santos, a 8-6 victory going the way of Emergence. The underdogs in the situation take a very, very solid win away from Wichita Wolves. We're going to be heading straight into map number 2, Oregon. This is a vastly different map than what we saw on Coastline. There's more strategy involved, but there's still 100% potential for these players to pop off the same way.
Oh man, I don't think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna see a little bit more of a slower game. I don't want it to be, but I think we're gonna be seeing a little bit more of a slowdown here, just because of the nature of Oregon. Obviously, we see Thatcher being banned out. You don't expect to see a Thatcher banned on Coastline, so I'm sure that's why that didn't happen last map. But Thatcher, a very prevalent ban otherwise. But yeah, oh man, I have loved this game so far. This has been like in the top 3 of games that I've casted for SCS, and hopefully this continues, Panda, as we get our second ban that's a Maverick word, and I think that's an interesting one overall. I love the Maverick ban on Oregon, but you know,
Sorry, I just noticed what the players were saying in chat. Sarko said, "Tell the viewers what you call him, Mark. Fidget spinner mummy." At least the guys are having some fun. You want to know that, yes, it's a serious competition. Yes, it's competitive, but what's the point if you're not having fun? Clash coming in, surprisingly being banned away by Emergence. So I think that's probably targeted at the basement hold, just because that is, sort of where the Clash shines. But this final ban, it's going to be a Cade. There's no surprises whatsoever. Cade is an operator that plays incredibly well in a lot of the holds, specifically in basement as well as in that attic. This is definitely gonna be nothing crazy out of the ordinary for the Vans.
No, nothing completely out of the nothing completely out of the meta here. Obviously, the Clash may have taken me aback just a little bit, but overall, I love the bans here. It's definitely standard. If anything, you mentioned Twitch. She is now on the board. I love it. Just the feed. I mean, Claude has been such a strong player throughout the course of this game, and just give her the F2 and let her go to work. But we the rest of Emergence have also played very well, and Goria, we were singing his praises. Obviously, a little bit of a quieter day for him, but I expect him to wake up in this map as well. Meanwhile, for Wichita, obviously you dropped that last map, but it wasn't overtime. You still come away with a point. Now reset, come across onto Oregon, and let's see what you got here, because this is definitely going to be hotly contested.
Yeah, we saw the last minute 6 pick there from Devil. Brings out the mute over the Valkyrie because they need some sort of breach denial here. Realistically, though, it's breach denial that is easily dealt with on Dorms. You just go from below. You've got the breaching rounds for Ben. You've got the impacts coming out of the lifeline for Goria. So there's no real. Or actually, look at that, Iski. I think they've read this quite well. They understand that there is going to be pressure from below. The one Jaeger ADS does go down, although there is limited usage out of that. So I think they're still probably going to be able to get walk-in closet. It will just take a little bit more of an investment of that utility. They're locking out Armory as well, which is, I imagine, where Iski will be holding, rotating around Armory stairs and into Armory itself at the moment. Big surprise, though. We see the G36 coming out for Ben, not the R4C, wanting to use that longer range threat that you get with this. It's almost a pseudo SMG, in all honesty, but no, he's going to be running around very aggressive. Goria in as well. Look, would the name a more iconic duo than Goria on the entry?
I can't. There is none. I'm sorry.
It's exactly it.
Can't think of one. But Ben here looking to aggress onto the bottom floor as well. And that ADS isn't going to make any of a difference. It gets caught out. It was a very kind of weird placement, if I'm going to be completely honest, from Iski. Maybe if they were entering through Classroom, it could have gone unchecked, but it does go checked by Emergence, and they're going to be able to get that vertical pressure onto the bedroom wall. They're going to be able to deny those any sort of denial that was on that wall. You see the mute device is now gone, and that's going to allow the hard breach of Ace to go to work and really put the pressure onto anyone playing through site. Not only do you open up an avenue to go ahead and go inside and plant, but you also just cut the site in half in terms of your rotations. But if Goria is going to, oh man, Goria is awake, but I'll tell you who isn't awake. That's going to be Clouds with the first kill, then Faded, and the rest of Wichita Wolves are falling like, I don't know. They're falling very quickly here, but Iski has something to say about that. He's going to be able to get one back onto Ben, but Tyrant's going to fall as well, and Iski in a very tough situation here at the bottom of White Stairs. It's going to be a retake for him, but I'll tell you what, Emergence hasn't planted the diffuser yet. They know that the site is clear, and we're just waiting on that plant to come out, but Goria is going to be felled, and Iski, well, one of the newest roster pickups here, and then, but unfortunately, very still tough situation here, and Sonafin going to be able to get that diffuser down, and it's a retake for Iski, and it's not looking like a likely one.
So Toast, I keep notes while we're casting. I take down the bomb site, which round it is, and opening gun. Writing down the gunfights, and I look back, and there was 3 people dead on the side of Wichita Wolves. So it speaks to the change that has come in terms of the dynamic of this patch. Much more aggressive style on the attack. You can afford to go for those heavy aggressive plays. And boy, what a round that paid out there for Emergence. They got themselves in with a huge amount of time left to play. They absolutely bullied Wichita Wolves on the defense. And I think that this reaction makes a huge amount of sense. You are not going to go back to dorms when you lost the bomb site the way you just did. You go down to laundry, you go for something that's a little bit safer, because at least with dorms, you know, you've got your back against the wall, so to speak, in terms of the fact there's nothing you have to worry about from below. You have to come, it's either from the sides or from above, and even then from above is a rather tenuous position to contest anyway. So this is pretty much the go-to bomb site for most defenses, where my Jaeger makes a lot of sense. You're going to go for that elbow hole. Goyo, unfortunately, just I think the momentum that Emergence has somehow managed to generate, and with the Twitch coming in as well, Clouds is just putting on a clinic. This is terrifying, because you know who better counters a Goyo than a Twitch.
I mean, oh man, just then you have the F2 as well. I love to talk about the guns because I come from Call of Duty, so you know, just the fragging power that the F2 brings to the board, and then obviously in Siege you click the head, then you have your result. But just a very strong fragging potential lineup here. Obviously, each and every one of these operators have to play their role, but you do have a lot of potential here just based on the guns they bring. Obviously, Goria has struggled, if we can call it that. I mean, he's gone positive in the last map, but in terms of what we expect from Goria, it's kind of a struggle here. He has been shut down a little bit, but the rest of Emergence have awoken as well, and Clouds proving to be one of the biggest sort of people here. But back into the round we go, and the immediate blue pressure already being brought out here. They are going to have to contest with a lot of utility to get through, though, and unfortunately for Iski, he's not going to make a difference in the round here. He gets initially fragged, and I'm not exactly sure where he was, but we did see the reposition from the Nomad. So I think Iski was just caught out on a little bit too deep of a roam, and Goria coming down. Oh my goodness, he gets the long shot into Anarchy as well, and Wichita Wolves are getting picked apart.
This is Emergence firing on all the cylinders. They found 3 with 2 minutes left to play. They blow the round wide open. Clouds finds a 4th. Faded, he's alone on the site, has the toxic canisters, but they're forcing it through. Clouds runs in, eats a face full of SMG-11 spray, but Son of Finn shuts it down. Emergence, 2 of the most commanding rounds I have ever seen on Oregon, come together to give themselves a huge lead. This is an incredibly attacker-sided Oregon so far.
Does this patch feed into what Emergence loves to do, which is go out and go frag? And maybe this takes away from such a structured team like Wichita Wolves, who loved that 20-second meta because they were able to win those final engagements very quickly. But as these first 2 rounds have proven, aggression seems like the way to go in the new season of Neon Dawn, because they've been able to dominate these last 2 rounds, and Wichita Wolves haven't put up much of a fight, if we're going to be honest. And I think maybe we're seeing the meta game benefit Emergence here. So yeah, Wichita Wolves struggling here, and they tried their another new bomb site. They're just fishing for answers, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find them.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got to imagine, surely the shift in the patch wasn't that significant that it would... I mean, yes, it's going to make the shift away from the 20-second meta become more prevalent, because there's just not enough utility denial to make that happen again. But the fact that we see this play out the way it did, and given that Emergence is a pretty heavy fragging roster, in all honesty, I wonder, maybe Wichita Wolves haven't quite done the homework they needed to in this situation. There's only so much time that they would have been able to scrim on the test server and all the rest of it before it did go live, while trying to keep things relevant while and scrimming on the actual server. But this is vastly different from what we've seen out of both these teams so far. Emergence really struggled to, find that cohesion, get themselves in a position where they are the ones taking command here. At Wichita Wolves, they've very rarely been threatened, because their skill, their tactical play has been so commanding itself that they have been able to take all comers. This time around, though, this could not be any... we're in Wonderland at the moment. Everything's... if this is how the rest of this patch plays out, Emergence could find themselves 100% making it playoff.
I mean, Emergence with this win could push themselves into the top 6, though, and the rest of the top 6 are going to have to be very wary of this Emergence team, because they have looked dominant throughout this match. But they are taking map control very quickly here, and Anarchy, unfortunately not getting caught, is able to get his frag onto Sonafin, but he does take a lot of damage there as the Goyo shield does get counteracted, which means that Anarchy's going to be playing on his back foot for the rest of the game. But they're also going to be playing on their back foot in terms of HP, as well as Tyrant is going to fall, and Devil taking a gunfight instead of Bathroom as well. Unfortunately for Wichita, they're just not dealing with this aggression very effectively here, and have not been able to refrag, but looking to get even more aggressive, and Goria showing exactly what he can do, able to take out Devil, and Anarchy does find one back. Anarchy was one of the biggest names in that first map of Coastline, but Emergence here looking in control. They're going to have to deal with one of these members that are watching the long angles, but Wichita are certainly playing on their back foot right now.
I mean, we talked about how it was the Goria show coming in 7. that was their key factor. Clouds is going above and beyond. Like, his performance map number 1 was insane. Now coming into this map, he's doing just as well. He's keeping relevant in the frags. Ben, he's find the kill. Iski putting that man advantage in favor of Emergence. They've still got so much time to work with, swinging it, and he's going to put down by Ben for the double. They lose Clouds off the back of the SMG-11 of Faded, but with such a little amount of health left, Faded is going to go for the toxic canister through the wall play to deny the plant, but there's still a lot of time left. He blows it up, swinging in. Goria finds regardless. Emergence with a flawless rotation of bomb sites on the attack, no less.
What would we call that? Like, what kind of terminology do you give that? There's
clean sweep.
clean sweep that was. They've taken the broom, and they're trying to do away with Wichita in a very explosive fashion. And for all the rest of the teams watching in SCS, do you see Emergence right now? This is an Emergence that is a force to be reckoned with, but it's going to be back to kids' dorms for Wichita they go, and again, they're just looking for answers here. Even deciding to not bring a denial, the mute is now off the board. Instead, they're going to be depending on their ability to just watch these angles here. But unfortunately, I just don't think that is the optimal strategy. That it isn't the meta here for Wichita in this matchup, because Emergence have proven that their guns are up 100% of the time, and they are going to win gunfights whether or not you like it. So I almost want to say you need to find a way to slow Emergence down and really revert the sort of macro game to back to what it was, which is try to force that sort of utility meta and slow down the attack of Emergence. But yeah, Emergence just playing these rounds to a T and really just able to take map control with barely any contention, if we're going to be honest here.
Well, I mean, this is bizarre. Wichita Wolves don't seem to have an answer. And in all honesty, this either means one of two things. One, Wemai and Jaeger at what their former state was so pivotal to how the meta played out that now that it's gone, we are going to see a huge swing in favor of the attackers. Or two, Wichita Wolves just have no clue and Emergence are in their element. Right? But either way, it's not a situation that I think Wichita Wolves or their fans or their staff at the moment are currently happy that they're going to be in. So there's potential that we see that frustration, the anger, fuel a comeback here and secure a 3-3 half. I mean, look, you're standing at the base of a mountain and avalanche. You've got one option. Get out the hell out of the way or die. And with the momentum that Emergence has, I think this is where Wichita Wolves find themselves. They either need to get the hell out of the way or just accept the result, because there's been no contest. They do get the kill onto Ben to start things off. Anarchy able to find the vertical angle, but even still, Ben, it's not like he has been the key player here. Anarchy is going to be able to deny it, but look who's there. Wait. He walks straight in. He's going to be able to open in regardless. Says, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to be able to turn this on its head anyway. And man count even. They've lost the Maestro. That is probably the most key, other than the smoke, operator on the defense.
Yeah, losing a pivotal operator in that Maestro. Now those cams are stuck in position. Don't peek, Son of Finn. Not like that. Don't leave your body exposed to that long. Tyrant, unfortunately, has been cold throughout this matchup, and Iski still trying to hold on to White Stairs. Unfortunately, though, the Wichita has just been getting picked left and right, and it's been for relatively unnecessary reasons. Unfortunate for Wichita, who are trying to get their way back into this matchup, but Emergence looking indomitable here, and now they're just trying to set up the crossfires to allow some sort of aggression being brought out here, but they are very spread out, so you are feeding into the 1v1 game, and a 1v1 is exactly what Devil is able to win, as he does take out Son of Finn. So the ace off the board, obviously he has done most of his damage. Iski still playing at the top of White Stairs, but moved looking to sprint in. He gets Iski. What is going on? Wait, what? They're allowed to just sprint in and no real contention being brought out. Devil's gonna fall as well off the crossfire from the big window, and Faded in a tough situation. He does get the down on Goria, but Goria, we notice how much he loves the Zofia. He's still on the board, nonetheless, with 5 HP, and Faded is just a sitting duck here in a very tough situation. He does get hit by the air jab, but unfortunately, he only finds one before Emergence close the round out. That's 4 in a row. We don't expect this from Emergence.
That's 6 in a row if you include overtime on Coastline.
Yeah. So Wichita Wolves, just all of the momentum is gone, and Faded requesting that rehost. So back to us we go, unfortunately. And yeah, Emergence. Wow.
Moved literally cut right across the bomb site. He went from trophy to the corner of bunks without being punished. He even got the kill onto the player sitting on top of White Stairs. This patch, it's Emergence in their element right now. Like you talk about a duck in water, like you take a duck taking to water. That's Emergence, and I don't know if it's necessarily because the team have been lacking or what coming that the game itself just didn't favor their playstyle. But this is Goria. Yes, he's coming back into his element. This is what I expect from him. But the rest of the team, I mean, Clouds. He's my standout player here. Yes, Goria is going absolutely nuts in this map. He's finding the huge frags, but Clouds consistently as a whole over this entire series so far is the standout player. He is having the Goria performance.
I can't even pencil it down to Clouds, because the rest of Emergence have been they've been alive. Son of Finn's been getting his frags. Ben has been a very good utility clear as well. And honestly, Emergence are just clicking on all cylinders here, and we know how much potential this Emergence team brings. So if they can keep it up throughout the rest of the season, because this matchup right here, like, I don't want to call it chalked because Deranged, the head of Wichita Wolves, is going to yell at me, but I mean 4-0, that's a very big sort of thing that's a very big scoreline that you got to recover from. And if Emergence can keep this momentum going, I mean, there really isn't much else you can do if you're Wichita. And maybe we talk about how rehost happened because of technical issues and stuff like that, but our rulebook says you do get one rehost regardless of the reason. Are you trying to shut down this momentum right now? Because Emergence have looked just insane.
I mean, Tyrant was complaining about the service. I understand, yes, new patch, there's going to be some issues. There always is. It just seems to be how Rainbow Six does work when these new patches come out. So, yeah, look, hey, it's just how it happens some days. And there you go, moved. He finished off round number 1. He has been in the thick of it here so far on Oregon. Like, I mean, it was weird. So Coastline was so heavily contested. It was so even. And then, I mean, it's a map that favors fraggers, which is this Emergence roster. And now you're coming into Oregon, which is, you would argue, very, very technical, very, very strat heavy. And they're 4-0 up against a team like Wichita Wolves. And it speaks to the development of the team. You've got to imagine, they've been doing the work. It looks like they've been doing it. If they haven't been scrimming, I bet the rest of they're looking like. But they have put in the hard yards. They've got to this point. Son of Finn, he's very much feeling himself as that in-game leader. The calls are coming in cleanly. You look at this execute on basement alone. The way they approach this, they absolutely demolish the hold into Boiler. They push players off the site. The last one left was Faded. Yes, he found a frag, but at that stage, 4 of his teammates were gone as we hit the 2-minute mark. This is just insane potential coming out of Emergence right now.
I mean, Emergence is feeling like they can just run through brick wall and absolutely just demolish it, and not even like take any scratches. There's nothing left of the brick wall but powder, and it's looking exactly that because Wichita Wolves is one of the biggest brick walls that we have in SCS. So the fact that Emergence has dismantled them on a tactic heavy map, like you said, absolutely surprising. I'm here for it. I love casting it because I love a good surprise, but I feel for Wichita Wolves, and you mentioned the server issues. First day, a lot of people are going to be playing, especially in NA. A lot of people are getting home right now, getting home from work and whatnot. But it's a tough situation, and there's only so much that you can take before you start looking inwards on yourselves. And I think man, just Wichita Wolves have struggled immensely, and I don't know if it's down to the you rehost for the servers, fine, but it's also a mentality thing. It's just been tough on them so far, and I love the rehost because it allows you to reset. But I want to see we love a good game. We love the emergence of Emergence, fun, but I want to see this get a little bit closer. If I'm going to be completely honest here, because Wichita is one of those powerhouse rosters who it's been tough for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've battled through. They've had a couple of very, very solid performances, a couple of very, very rough performances. We are getting back in. Rehost is done. We're heading in round number 5, where things are looking very, very tenuous for Wichita Wolves. Emergence with so much momentum under the belt. Round number 5, we're going to be heading... dining. It's going to be kitchen dining. We've seen it played out last time. It was the final round that was showing in the replays there. It was very, very one-sided at the end of the day. Emergence just absolutely they are manhandling the Wichita Wolves roster. There's no other. Clouds, he's sticking with the Twitch. He's feeling himself. Just the comfortability this Emergence roster is showing right now in their picks, in their play style, in their approach to this map. That's very reassuring if you're a fan.
If it isn't broke, why fix it? This hasn't been broken, obviously. Like, this just why switch? I mean, everything's been working out for you. Obviously, you have Son of Finn on the support, which allows him to see the map at a very macro lens and really just allow the frag to go do their work. And I mean, we've talked about Goria a million times on any given SCS broadcast, but Clouds, I mean, that Twitch, That's been such a crucial tool, and not even for the drones. I mean, the drones making a difference there. It zapped that ADS. Unfortunately for Iski, he's actually out of ADSs now, so that corner is going to be even harder to hold. But yeah, you have the F2. Obviously, the 1.5 scope is a big thing as well. He's just been wrecking havoc on anyone from Wichita, and I talked a little bit how Wichita is a lot stronger on their attacking half, so they have that to look forward to, but you don't expect to get shut down this hard on the defense. But back into our first round after the rehost here, Emergence obviously walking with a little bit of a swagger, and it's going to be interesting to see if this rehost has stifled any of that sort of momentum. I don't expect it to have, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's the momentum has very much been well and truly established, but this Twitch, having the shock drones are infinitely more valuable now. Any ADS you take down, because the changes that were made, they last infinitely with a timer, but that's utility gone. Being able to take down the Vulcan shields, which was dealt with, like, I mean, you didn't have an ADS in that position because you couldn't afford to place it there. And even if you had it there, there's a chance it would have been destroyed by the shock drone anyway. So this translation of just how impactful a Twitch can be now is absolutely insane, and we're already starting to see those markers coming in. And as you know, we head towards the 2-minute mark of this round, the positioning is there. They've got players in small tower. They're going to start that pressure onto both showers and into dining. And you look at that, Clouds. He's on the showers hallway window. He's starting to throw those new stun grenades in, trying to burn those ADSs. And Devil, he's feeling the pressure right now. It's probably a good thing in the shower, but he's in the, probably going to be sweating just a little bit as you see all these players that are postured around waiting for him to make the mistake of peeking into an angle.
It's not going to be too hard to clean the blood off the showers, that's for sure, but it is going to be hard to clean the blood of Anarchy, who has been felled as a result of Son of Finn's vertical play. And I mean, Wichita Wolves have been read by a book, and we talk a little bit about how they are a strategic heavy team. Obviously, Devil able to get a refrag onto move, but unfortunately, I mean, they've given up a lot of ground here, and all it's going to take is 1 or 2 more impact frags to really allow the aggression to happen. And impact frag master Goria able to take one out, but Iski able to find one before getting refragged by the Ash Jaeger counterpart of Ben. And unfortunately, with 50 seconds remaining to go, it's going to be up to Faded and Tyrant. Tyrant has been struggling throughout Oregon, but unfortunately for him, Faded falls, and the Nitro Cell is wasted as well. Tyrant alone in a 1v3, but he did get the down onto Son of Finn, but unfortunately, Ben goes huge. 5 rounds in a row for Emergence. I'm baffled right now.
Emergence are coming together as a team. 5-man unit. Crazy that Moved is currently looking for a team at the moment, because he feels like he gels with this roster incredibly well. Hey, look, there's a possibility. I see that looking for team post maybe being taken down after this week, because if Emergence realize that they can play this well with a player like Moved in the roster, I mean, why find someone new? This guy understands the playstyle. He understands the strat. He said they are now 5-0 in the half so far, with 1 round to play against Wichita Wolves, of all people. This could be a 6-0 half. The momentum is there. We have not seen this Emergence roster drop a round since round number 12 of Coastline. That is 7 rounds in a row, 7 rounds of momentum, including a rehost that was called by Wichita Wolves. This is the final round of the half, and the fact that, the last time we saw it, it was at the 2-minute mark, a 1 versus 4. Well, actually, it was a 1v5, and then Faded got a kill, but look, there is bleak situations, and then there is where Wichita Wolves are.
Yeah, I mean, they're just throwing strategy outside of the window, too, not even opting to play inside of elbow. You see the sort of unorthodox reinforcement strategy being brought out here onto the elbow wall as well as E-box wall. And, Wichita Wolves are really just trying to find anything that works, but that just allows Emergence to take control very quickly there. Obviously, you forfeit the elbow control and just hope that you can funnel them into that pillar doorway. But nonetheless, that's not really the strategy that I would be wanting to go for, just knowing how hot the guns have been from Emergence. But nonetheless, they do take control of blue, and they are just trying to make their way quickly inside, and they do deal with the deployable cam quickly as well. And that's really kind of baffling to me that they didn't expend anyone to go and play inside of elbow with the deployable camera there. And you know, just some very sloppy sort of strategies coming out here results in Anarchy getting destroyed. And I'm very big question marks are happening here as the plant's actually going to go down. Unfortunately for them, they're not aware of Faded's position. He's going to be able to get the nitro deny, but Goria there with the refrag, and Wichita Wolves are already playing on their back foot. Unfortunately, Goria is going to fall there. Iski is going to get the frag onto him, as well as Devil finding one of his own, but moved. Oh my goodness, going absolutely insane. Takes out Tyrant. It's all down to Iski, and unfortunately, he's not in position to deny this diffuser plan. And again, playing on his back foot, they do have a crossfire onto the freezer door as well. He doesn't have time to rotate as well. He has to win one of these one-on-ones. Moved is looking to take it on his own. Unfortunately, he doesn't win it out. I don't think you needed to peek out there if you are moved, so it comes down to one-on-one. But Ben has been a very good gun, and a good gun he stays. Emergence, 6-0. What is going on? That round was close.
6-0 in the half. The bomb diffuser went down with 1:32 left on the clock. This is Wichita Wolves feel like they're floundering. This is opposite day. I have Wichita Wolves are actually playing on the Emergence accounts, and that's what's happening at the moment. That's the only way I can justify it. But no, Emergence! What is 6-0? They are one round away from handing Wichita Wolves a 7-0 defeat in the SCS Season 4. That is not an outcome that I ever would have called, in all honesty. I mean, I think that the hardest defeat that Wichita Wolves has faced is like a 7-2 this season. And that was at the hands of Visionary. This, I don't know. This is bizarre. This is crazy stuff happening today here in Super. Technically, this is a Week 5 game. Even one round is all that separates Wichita Wolves from an absolute trouncing.
I mean, I'm just speechless. This has been just a very just insane performance from Emergence, and I mean they're just walking around with a bunch of swagger here. Ben 5-0. This isn't the teammate on Emergence that we expected from. We expected from Goria, but you know, when the rest of Emergence is alive and well, this team is just oh my goodness here. But we get into the action phase, and you know, Emergence is one round away, from taking this, as you've said. But Wichita, they want to defend their honor. They want to defend that round differential, because if this goes down to a 7-0, it's just a very tough situation there. And I mean, Emergence just are they gonna be able to hold on? Are they gonna be able to get this 7-0? The question will be answered here, but the hold is looking strong here, and it's looking like an excited take there for the side of Wichita Wolves, but they do have to deal with this bandit from Moved here. And how long is it going to take for them to deal with that utility? That's the biggest question here.
Well, they've got players positioned below, looking to get that wall open from Classroom. They do get the backstage wall open as well, the attic wall as well, pushing in from backstage to use those impacts. So they have got their avenues into the bomb site ready and waiting to go. Clowns, he's the one holding here, sees the drone, shoots it out, goes for a bit of a pre-fire on. He has responsibility of holding this angle. We know he can win his ones. We know he can win his gunfights from this position. As unfortunately, this could be a bit of an uphill battle, in all honesty. As Iski, he's going to fight an opener onto Goria. That's exactly what you're looking for. Start things off, taking down Goria. It's one of the powerhouses, not the biggest fragger so far at the moment. It's also the 416 carbine down now, so they've got control all the way into trophy. They've got a lot of advantage they can translate into some big wins here, but it's really going to come down to whether or not they can win those gunfights against some of these key members. It doesn't look like they're going for the war closet push. They've definitely stalled that one out in Tyrant. He's given away his position here with that bench, pushing in towards bottom attic at the moment. They do. Okay, so they have rotated as well, but he's isolated. Iski not in position to get the refrag. Two multiple approaches, coming in. One from Attic, one from Trophy side as they swing in. Cloud is well and truly pincered right now. They've got a crossfire set up on him, so there's no way to get out without dying unless he wins that gunfight. And it's going to be Anarchy to find moves, denying the potential for that 7-0 win score at the moment. But you look at that, Ben still deep on the side. He's going to tag up Iski. Can he win the gunfights? Two, they lose Clouds. It's a 2v5. Ben and Son of Finn need to go absolutely huge. Son of Finn finds the opener. Can he find anything else? They're looking for these big gunfights. 17 seconds left. They could look to try and deny the Devil. He's taking it. Son of Finn swings onto the window. Toxic Hand drops Ben, and Son of Finn finds himself in a 1v4. Plant is already... He's thrown it into the corner, trying to deny. Trying to find anything he can. Doesn't quite have the information he needs to find the frags. And Anarchy shuts it down, which will... It's not going to be the flawless 7-0 sleep. But the question is, Santos, 6-1 currently. There is potential for a comeback, but that's 5 rounds where your opponent is sitting on map point, in series point, crazily enough, where you cannot afford to make a mistake.
I'll tell you what, if Wichita Wolves can pull themselves back into this game, I will take back everything I've said about Emergence, and I will take back any of the praises that I've given them, because that is just a very bad thing for that to happen to your team. But they are going to try a different site, knowing that that previous second floor defense just was picked apart very quickly here. We do see the Mira being brought out for the first time, which enables some very aggressive electrical box play. And we also have the denial coming out from the Mute, sacrificing the Legion for just that a little bit more wild denial. And, you know, I love this move here from Emergence here, just moving on to a different bomb site, not giving Wichita Wolves any sort of keys into to what their defenses are going to hold. They're going to give you as many looks as possible to try and close this game out. But yeah, the question does have to be asked: can Wichita pull themselves back into this matchup? That last take proved very effective, and I've talked about how Wichita Wolves' attacks are a force to be reckoned with, and that was a prime example of that. So Emergence, is your defense going to be able to adjust? Now, they have tilted the odds in their favor with the Mira, allowing that sort of aggression. So I think Emergence is looking to get back into what has brought them to this point, which is the over-aggression, but not to a fault.
Well, this is a defense that we saw in the qualifiers from Emergence. In fact, it's a key part of the defense that allowed them to actually qualify for the tournament final game of qualifier. Down in the basement with a Mira available, Son of Finn on the job is going to be very, very key in this part, in this play, as we head into what is potentially the final round of this entire series, potentially the start of a Wichita Wolves comeback. There's a lot of questions that now need to be answered. They're going to open up that meeting hatch. It seems they realize that the hatch into Attic is open, so there might be some offside presence. Speaking of, here comes Cloud on the lurk, pushing his way into Kitchen. If he could find a flank here, he could well and truly dismantle the attack of Wichita Wolves. He knocks out the drone. He's looking for that long angle towards the door, the stairs coming from backstage. If he'd swung, he might have found Eski. But I think the information, or rather the lack of information of his positioning, is much more important than him finding a single frag, as they're all stacking up outside bunker. They're trying to get themselves in. It seems that, you know, Son of Finn is going to concede a little bit of that angle from Supply itself. Goes for the spray. Eski gets tagged as the push will be starting up here. Ben as well. They are doing some real work here. Moved. Can he find the spray on the player in Big Tower Stairs? It's only a pixel that's needed. He's very much locked down as well. Question though, where is it going to kick off? Who is going to be the first one to fall? Damage definitely in favor of Emergence.
Eski there only is going to be able to survive one bullet, but I'll tell you who isn't going to survive a nitro cell. That's going to be Devil being felled by Ben. Ben has been absolutely insane throughout the course of this matchup, but Eski has done work as well. But unfortunately, actually Eski finding two. Goria and Moved are both going to fall, but they do have their anchor presence on the site. Never mind. Ben is going to fall, and those mirror windows have been all but neutralized there, and it's going to be up to Son of Finn and Evil Clouds to pull this one back. Clouds has rotated above the E-box hatch, able to pick off Tyrant there, and that's the diffuser down inside of the electrical box as well. But it's going to be up to Clouds alone here to bring this round back. His position is given away by that air jab. He's just going to try and retake by the hatchway, but the plant is going to go down from Iski. It is only going to take one bullet to take him down, though, and Anarchy is in good position as well to get the refrag on him, but Anarchy loses the fight. This is possible. Clouds wins it out. Teabags come out, all in good fun. Quad kill coming up from Clouds. GG's in the chat. Emergence 7-1. Oh my goodness.
Emergence off the back of Clouds has given one of the handiest Wolves season. 7-1, going down 6-0 on their defensive half. That we saw. No, actually, we only saw the one defensive round, and that was the one that Emergence used to push it over the edge and close out the series. That is a 2-0 series, 5 points at the end of the day for Emergence. Look, I'm going to be honest, Santos. I think Move stays with the roster after that.
I wouldn't question it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we probably don't see, but just based off of that performance, keep Moved on the roster, work some stuff out, because that match was insane. The Emergence looked like they were indomitable. Wichita Wolves were really just sort of on their back foot, especially on Oregon, but you know, Wichita Wolves put up a good fight. We're going to give them that credit. Coastline was a very close map, but yeah, Emergence, where is this coming from? Where did this emerge from? Because, you know, none of us expected this. And, you know, I'm going to look at the predictions and be like, wow, I'm dumb. I am so dumb.
Yeah, and before we chuck it over the analyst, Santos, we have an Clouds is going to be joining us for the interview. My lord, Clouds, how are you feeling after that clutch?
To be honest, I'm just proud. I mean, coming in with how things have been going with the roster, we just weren't expecting. We had no clue what to expect. We just came in trying to have fun. Like, to be honest, just play the game, enjoy it. And I mean, we're all shocked ourselves, to be honest.
Well, hey, you shocked everyone. We expected that to be a little bit closer. We expected map 2 to carry on like map number 1. But to go from an 8-6 on Coastline to 7-1ing Wichita Wolves, you guys must be on top of the world.
I mean, we're all so happy we got 5 points, and we definitely needed that.
Yeah, well, hey, look, we came into this week, and I'll play devil's advocate. We said, you know, it's the Goria show. It's him if the rest of the team doesn't step up. We weren't expecting much from you. But Goria, was he even in the server today? Because it was the rest of you guys off.
I don't know if it's a new season. I feel like the meta, honestly, it's going to benefit us with the Jaeger nerfs, just how ops have changed with the utility. I mean, we just kind of game in and we just kind of said, we're just going to YOLO everything. We're just going to full send it. If we die, we die. And, you know, others picked it up when that mattered, and that's what the team should look like.
There was well, before I hand it over to Santos, there was one YOLO moment that we were expecting that did not happen. Sonafin picks the armorer and doesn't get inside the... What was the call then?
He said, I'm going Amaru, I don't care what you guys say, pretty much. So we just kind of let him do it.
And then he died without using the guard hook.
So
you guys went for some interesting strategies. You pulled out some bold plays. Obviously, you guys have done a hell of a lot of prep work coming into today's play. The new season, you guys are obviously enjoying it a little. Was this a case of, you know, this just fits your play style, or you guys actually sat down, did all the prep work, and you came in and counter-strategized the hell out of Wichita Wolves?
Surprisingly, we only knew we were going to go to Oregon. We didn't know if it was going to be a theme or coast, so we ended up prepping. I wouldn't say we prepped for both. To be honest, we only really touched up Oregon. We did like 2 scrims. We just we came in because Move stepping down from our roster. I'm not sure if anyone knows that yet, but we knew it.
Are you sure? Because that guy was kind of nuts with you guys today.
I don't know.
You don't want to keep him on?
I don't know. Maybe we'll have another team talk about that. I don't know our situation there. We haven't really talked much, but I mean, coming in this, no, we did absolutely no prep work besides a little bit of watching them. We knew, like, yesterday, we knew that they kind of did more of, like, risky plays. That's about all we kind of knew. So we kind of just said, just go in and do what we do. And I feel like this meta is definitely going to benefit us. So we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season.
I mean, hey, look, you definitely impressed us. You put on a hell of a show. It was probably one of the funnest series that I've had the opportunity to cast. But Toast, I'm sure you're brimming with questions for the team who did next to no prep work. Take it away.
I mean, you mentioned the fact that you guys were just trying to have fun throughout this matchup, and you know, it just looked like it in chat. You know, what was the vibe like inside of your team chat? Obviously, not giving away any of the prep work there, but what was the vibe like? Were you guys just laughing it up the whole time? Like, what was that like?
After the very first map on Coastline, when we had a 2-1 lead, we all told ourselves we have a chance to actually score some points this week because, like I said, our morale was kind of going in low. Like, we weren't expecting much. We just kind of said we just got to have fun, enjoy it, see where we go. And I feel like that definitely benefited us. We were all laughing the whole time and playing songs. We were just joking around, trying to keep the mood up. And, I mean, it seemed to work.
I mean, the work is definitely evident. I mean, just all of your guys' guns were just on fire. I don't know how else to express that. Just, yeah, I mean, I'm glad the vibes were good after you know, you said the team morale is going down a little bit, but you know, where do you guys go from here? Obviously, you said the meta is looking to favor you guys a little bit. So what's going to go in? What more preparation is going to go into this? How are you going to approach Neon Dawn?
I don't know. I think we're just gonna keep seeing how it goes, keep seeing how other teams adapt to a play style, kind of see how the meta is gonna change. I definitely think it's gonna favor us more. We tend to be more of that aggressive team. I mean, it's shown in the past, kind of. So I feel like having like Jaeger nerfs and all of the above, it's definitely gonna benefit us.
Well, Clouds, I appreciate your time with us, but is there anything you got to say to any of the fans of Emergence before we let you sign off?
Well, to the fans, I thank everyone for supporting us, everyone knowing that we always can do it, and especially that everyone that voted against us this week. I'm assuming when I watch back the VOD, all the points are going to be voted against us. I know Cassie's voted against us. That kind of that kind of motivated.
Hey! I said you guys were going to give. I was right. Hey, I look. I forgot my predictions again this week, but I always back the Emergence boys.
I mean, I love getting voted against. It always boosts me up. I'm not sure about everyone else. I know, especially going in, Goria, out of everyone, had the lowest mood, and he just was so down. He's like, can't wait to get to, I wouldn't say can't wait. You didn't say that, but like,
oh,
the morale was so low until Coastline started. And once that map started, I don't know, we just had some laughs and went from there. So thanks for everyone supporting us, and hopefully we can make playoffs and do a run.
Well, we're glad
thank
to
you.
have you.
Sorry, you go, Toast.
I mean, we were glad to have you on the desk. Hopefully, we're going to have you back sometime soon. And judging by today's performance, with you guys' heads on the clouds, we're definitely going to see you guys here later on. And Clouds, it's been a good talk, my friend. Hopefully, we get to see you back here soon.
Yep, thank you guys.
Well, Toast, that brings us to the end of our portion of this Playday. We still have analysts who will look to break it down a little bit further, but my lord, what a showing. 6 rounds on the attack. That is not a situation that I'd ever imagined. Map number on Consulate/Coastline, depending if you were paying attention to the overlay in game number 1. And on Oregon, it was 7-1. And then they lost round 7 and then won round number 8. So Emergence, that's they have made a statement coming into Neon Dawn. They're going to be very solid coming to the rest of the season, and this potentially is the start of a huge upset coming into the rest of the season, where these teams that were very, very strat heavy, very reliant on the 22nd meta, aren't going to have that safety net anymore.
Definitely not. Wichita Wolves are going to have to look at their strats from a macro level and see just how they can slow down these attacking sides. But if we're ready for the analyst desk, Panda, thank you so much for being on the desk with me as always. It's always a pleasure to share this with you. But let's throw it over to Putin and Mistakes. Mistakes, I love your hoodie. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you very much. Go on, Putin.
Oh, are you sure? Like,
yeah, I'm sure. Take it ahead. I had the last.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's look into this. One thing that I want to take away from this game is how impressive Emergence's attacks were on Oregon. They, yeah, go.
Well, I want to point out where was Wichita Wolves defense? Where was it at? Like, I tried looking around for it. I can't find it. It seems like Emergence they just read them like a bug. They just grabbed the book and just like, this is their defense and we're going to win. That's what happened. That's honestly what just happened right there.
I couldn't agree more. The counter-stratting from Emergence was impeccable. One thing that I also want to point out, Clouds was saying in that interview that they only played Oregon a couple times. They went into this not expecting to win, but they came out 7-1ing Wichita Wolves on Oregon. And to me, that shows that Emergence has a lot of potential to be a very top-tier team in SCS.
Yeah, I mean, they just said they're just playing for fun. It looks like fun overrides practice because they just went at it, my dudes. And I gotta say, I didn't expect Move to survive in the site like this round right here. He was going to get the plant down. 2 players just walked by him, and he's just inside alone. Even though it does come down to a 1v1 and Ben does take it out at the end, it was just very confusing. Like, the Jaeger should have got the kill, and it should have been a 5-1, but instead it's a 6-0, and that doesn't look very real. It doesn't look very good for Wichita Wolves that actually saw into a 7-1.
No, I 100% agree because they were very confident on Coastline, like we were talking about. We saw them start to coordinate. We saw them start to work together. However, we started to see them fall apart on Oregon. We saw in the chat how they were talking about how the servers were trash. They were starting to get frustrated as a team. They they asked for that rehost to try and get that momentum back, try to get their energy. However, we didn't really see that. We saw them only get 1 round.
Yeah, it seems like they just did. Like the rehost, bad servers, it happens. And Siege is the bad game. We already know that. But after rehost, I expected to see different Wichita Wolves. Like, this was a mental reset. We're just gonna calm down, reset. But it looks like they were just doing the same thing over and over again, like putting their heads to the wall and trying to open it. Instead of Flynn, that was a great play right there, going all the way to the left, not expecting. The Maestro did not expect that, and that ended up here. I don't see why Tyrant right here in this play was peeking it. He didn't need to peek it. All he needed to do was play safe, and he ends up costing his life. And afterwards, I believe he was the one that said servers are bad.
Exactly. But I don't know. What I was seeing was over-aggression because they're getting frustrated. I was seeing a team start to do solo plays. They tried to make those hero plays. They were down a player. They would try to swing. They try to get those kills. But one thing I want to look at is Wichita Wolves were known for being a good team. We did not see that said performance today. Do you think that the new season with the whole Jaeger update kind of nerfed Wichita Wolves in their defense?
I would say yes, because as you really think about it, they didn't have much time to prepare, like game days on the same patch. Usually you want to try to play around, but their game day is like, they only have like a few hours to practice and like a whole day. Like, other teams are probably grinding out this game right now, trying to see what works and what it doesn't work. I would say it like hindered them. Like, they expected this, but it didn't happen, and they got mad, and which led to what you were saying about them getting frustrated and going for those hero plays. You don't need to be a hero. You just need to be. You need to be like a machine. Do one thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing that I want to look at too is Emergence. So in the prior season, we saw in Oregon attacks go to about like the last 30 or so seconds because you got to burn all that utility inside blue. You got to do all these different steps. However, when you're looking at it now, from what we saw in this matchup, you're able to get attic very quickly because the ADS only burns 1 and then you have to wait the 10 seconds. You're able to get blue quickly. All this is just quicker and quicker and quicker. So what I'm assuming happened to Wichita was they were not expecting this quick aggression. They were used to the 30-second meta. And so I believe that it just caught them really off guard because I still see them being a very good team. We saw them perform on Coastline with the close quarter combat. Coastline's known for being a fast map. Oregon's known for being a slow map. But with this new Jaeger update, it's become a faster map now.
Especially they brought Jaeger with Mai, and they were. I feel like for them, they were expecting the same Jaeger with Mai. They didn't take into account for the nerfs, and which is probably why they got frustrated. I gotta give props to Clouds here. He does the 1v2 clutch to end out the round. That was like such a huge moment for them. I mean,
Oh,
they said they didn't have that much practice, and they won it out 7-1. Like, who does that? Who does that? I don't know which team does that. It's like, we're just going to win a match. We're going to have fun. And if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. And who cares?
That's a team right there, though.
That's a team.
That's a team. And one thing that I want to point out is this is just for fun. However, everybody on Emergence, they do have the most champions, you know, so that may have played a factor. For all those people saying ranked matters, but in reality, it's all team play. We saw the team from Emergence really come together. For Wichita Wolves, they have a lot of work to put in. But what do you want to see Wichita Wolves do better when they come in for their next Playday?
So next Playday, I want to see them try to adapt. Like, go over this VOD, try to figure out your small mistakes. Like, hey, we were probably over peaking too much. We were going for that more rank style play, those flashy plays, those hero plays, instead of playing like a team. I want to see them trying to play more, like, because I know they have a buddy system. That's what they're known for a lot, having that. But it seems like right here they were just playing alone. Like, the Ash could have peaked out right when the Nomad was in there, I believe. Nomad was in there? Yes. They could have
Nomad
peeked
was
out.
playing inside Freezer.
So they could have peaked out together, but they didn't. It seems like they were like a little bit off. I want to see them play more together and try to adapt and improve.
Yeah, exactly. It's honestly just comes down to the mindset of what they were thinking about the servers too. Because as a player too, if I see myself starting to get frustrated with hit registration, I'm gonna be like, ah, fam, like, no matter what I'm doing, I'm just gonna get slammed. It's like, it's all mentality. That's all Siege is mentality. We saw Emergence come in with a very positive mentality coming in from Coastline, and then Wichita Wolves losing that mentality, resulting in the 7-1.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, Wichita Wolves, they need to start working together again. They need to figure out the new meta. New meta is going to be hard to figure out, but Emergence seems to have figured it out quicker. The one thing that I want to see from Emergence better is they had good individual performance. We saw Ben. Like, I honestly was not expecting Ben to do as good as he did today, but he showed up. The whole team started to show up. Like, I was just overall impressed.
Yeah, 100% here. And Emergence, they were doing pretty good. It seems like they got a good read on the meta. Like, look at the time. It's almost 2 minutes. Already 4 down, and they have almost everything dead. They're just picking up the pace. They're just like, okay, we're gonna do this. They're just fast. They're just running down the clock. And
exactly. Like,
nothing else to say.
That's what the new meta is, because you can't let those Jaeger devices reset. You have to immediately take the control after pushing it out, which is why I'm so excited for this new meta, because we're going to see new operator lineups. We're going to see new defenses, possibly even defenses without Jaeger, because Jaeger is no longer a necessity. You're going to have to devise those strats differently, because you're no longer going to be able to hold a corner. It's not viable. So Oregon is definitely going to see a meta change, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, no more holding rat corners. Dang it.
Sorry, no more rat plays.
Yeah, no more rat plays, more fast place, controlled aggression.
Hey, but you can still peek prone and pre-fire. Like, that's still going to be meta.
Still meta. Well, I think our time is running out. And, yeah. Just a great game, great performance. I never thought I'd see attacker-sided Oregon in my life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When I saw Wichita Wolves win that first round on their first attack, it's like, okay, maybe it's an attacker-sided Oregon. Then we saw the 4v1, or not the, I guess 2v4. The 4K. Yeah, 2v4 resulting in the 4K from Clouds. And I'm just like, all right, this kid's nuts. He's closing it out for his team.
Yeah.
Man.
But I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah, just we're logging out for tonight, I guess. On to the end scoreboard. Emergence takes the win 7-1 and 8-7 Coastline. Great performance by them, getting their points and ending up with the 2 wins.
Yeah, honestly, congrats to them. We're going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Thanks for viewing, and you guys enjoy your night.
you.